Okay.
It's the kitty cat version.
Yeah. That's how it sounds in Gina's head. All right, let's get this thing over with.
Let's finish it.
We're gonna start.
I want to get out of here. Let's go.
We're gonna start the show, and the sooner we start it, the sooner it's over. Now, listen, we're gonna do check-ins, but remember, you control this feature. It is the least popular feature we've ever done on the radio from Hell Show, and you control it. We can kill it. We can put a bullet in it.
Yeah.
Our consultant would love it.
Yesterday he said, "You guys aren't still doing that, are you?"
Yeah, I'm still doing that. It's terrible. I hate that.
But we have these low moon tickets. We have to give them away. So maybe if we only get one phone call, we'll just give them to that one person, and that'll be the end of it.
This is the thing, though, is that you can kill this feature by not participating in it.
Now, the number to not participate with is 877-602-9696. It's check-ins. You call, you tell us. Now, if you don't call, that's great. But if you do, you need to tell us a little something special that you did yesterday or that you're planning on doing today. Perhaps you're going to go to Beaver, Utah.
Why would you do that?
Well, who could not click on this headline? New cheese store in Beaver to offer visitors unique dairy experience.
Unique.
It's a headline. It's a headline in a local news source.
All right.
877-602-9696. Call.
All right. Yeah, it's up to you whether this feature lives or dies.
But don't get in a crash.
No.
Well, if you do get in a crash, you can go to Everest Collision Repair and they'll fix your car.
Now, we've told you to download the app, and you're like, well, I don't need their services right now. You will need their services someday.
And you never know when that's going to happen.
Exactly.
And if you have the app on your phone,
You're set.
Makes it easy. You can call it a tow truck from the app. You can get estimate on your damage right there from your phone.
You can find out where it is. Now, if you've ever been involved in an auto accident and it's not your fault, you'll know that the other person's insurance company, they'll try to dictate where you take your car, but you don't have to listen to them. You can take it wherever you want. Take it to Everest Collision Repair. They have 4 locations, Salt Lake, Sandy, Tooele, and Ogden. You can find out more and where the exact addresses are of those locations by going to everestcollisionrepair.com.
Hi, I'm Todd Newcomb, and I'm into trains and railroads and model railroads.
Channel 2 News at 10, it's Rod Decker, Undercover. What goes on behind the counter of your favorite burger joint? Are you getting more than you bargained for when you order it to go? Should we pay fast food workers more? And just what's in those deep-fried chicken pieces everybody orders? Our undercover reporter, Rod Decker, puts on a paper hat, a uniform, and a plastic badge with the name Bob on it, and he takes his hidden camera to uncover the truth about fast food.
Okay, Bob, I'm your manager. We'll start you out on the counter and see how you do.
Very good, sir. Hello, may I take your order?
Yes, I'll have a big burger, a 6-piece chicken thing, and a large root beer.
Would you like fries with that?
No. If I had wanted fries, I would have asked for fries.
So what you're telling me is that you don't want fries with your order.
That is what I said, isn't it?
Bob, you're slowing us down here. The customers are backing up. Let's move you over to fries for a bit. You work out there. We might be able to promote you to grill. You screw up, buddy, you're out of here.
Okay, then.
Oh, hey, Bob, I'm Ted. Welcome to Fries. Pay no attention to the assistant manager. One community college management course, and he thinks he's rake rock.
I see. So what's your story?
I just need some spare cash. I don't see myself cleaning out the shake machine 10 years from now. Hey, Bob, Bill's brother here is smuggling a keg back from Evanston. Big beer bash tonight. You want to come?
So what you're saying is that there will be an illegal supply of alcoholic beverages available tonight.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. You're Rod Decker, the Channel 2 news guy. Hey, everybody, it's Rod Decker.
I'm afraid you're mistaken. My name is Bob. I'm just an everyday high school student trying to get by on minimum wage.
Hey, you are Rod Decker. Give me that paper hat. Did anyone tell him what's in the deep-fried chicken pieces?
No.
Good. Now back to work, all of you.
There you have it. Fast food workers seem to be highly trained professionals. The weak links, like me, get weeded out in a hurry due to first-rate management techniques. As for minimum wage, it seems to be enough for these kids to have beer money. And the deep-fried chicken pieces are still a mystery to me. This is Rod Decker, Undercover, KUTV News.
Text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 6:19 right now.
And this is the official beginning of the Radio
begin.
from Hell show.
Brought to you by get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback Credit Card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
All right, the moon is just about gone. It's only 13.7% of the moon is visible. It will set, that is, the moon will set today at 4:40 p.m. Today being Thursday. It's the 12th day of April in the year of our Lord 2018. And this is North America's most nuclear or nuclear radio
nuclear.
broadcast.
Not nuclear. Always.
Okay, fine. Nuclear radio broadcast starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Carrie Jackson.
Q? There's no second U.
I know. I'm Bill Allred. That's Gina Barberi over there. And the senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show is Richard S. Stedman. He's, Richie S. We've always loved having him here. Richie S., our little brunette, green-eyed producer. Mm-hmm. He's only 14, you know.
Yeah.
And Dylan Allred, no relation, is producing the show, producing video for the show. You can see it at x96.com/live. And who's helping out today?
Katie.
Oh, Katie for short. I saw her come in, yeah. Check-ins, right?
Brought to you by Octapharma Plasma. Make money by making a difference. Donate today at 5414 South 9th East in Salt Lake. And to a random checker-inner, if we have any, X96 welcomes Low Moon to the Stateroom on Thursday, April 12th. Tickets are available at thestateroom.com.
I'm sorry to report that we do have some check-ins.
We do have people checking in,
yeah.
So, all right, let's begin with Derek. Hi, Derek.
Morning, Derek.
Morning.
Derek, what have you for us this morning?
Just checking in on my way into work.
Yeah?
Nothing too terribly interesting, except for I had a very invigorating game with a basketball game with a kid half my age. He kicked my butt. That's about the extent of my
Did you just
excitement.
did you just play? Did you play one-on-one, or did you play horse?
We played 21 actually.
21. Okay.
21.
And he ran circles around you, didn't he?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Derek.
Made me really feel my age.
Which is what?
33.
That's not bad. 33.
And how old was he?
15.
You should have been able to beat him. He's just a punk.
Yeah, you should
on.
feel bad about yourself.
Yeah.
man.
You've got experience.
Yeah, I mean, you must be way out of shape.
Way out of shape.
God, you must. Listen, I'm guessing you're 33 and you weigh close to 280, right?
Actually, 200 even.
200 even.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but he's only 5'2". So it's just,
He's wider than
I
he
only
is.
weigh like 4 foot, like 2. No.
Yeah. All right, Derek, I already made that joke. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Ty is here.
Good morning, Ty.
Ty?
Ty? Ty.
Ty's listening to the radio and not.
Yeah, Ty is not
that what
listening to his phone. He's.
Do you have a lot of nice ties, Ty?
Gina?
Here.
Gina,
There you are.
if I had said that, you would have been all over me. You would have gotten on top of me.
No, she would have been
and
thrilled.
screaming
Yeah,
at me.
because a reference that you would have made that I would have said, I can't believe you made that reference.
Says, well, there's Bill doing a line from Caddyshack. What the hell?
Sorry,
Ty?
is he there?
I think he gave up.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh,
What's up,
there you
Ty?
are. All right.
Yes, I'm here. So I used to get sad, like really sad, when you guys would say that this segment's about to die.
Mm-hmm.
But I've come to terms with it, and I'm actually excited for it to die.
You're excited for the morning.
Well, but you're
that
not
maybe-
helping.
That no one calls.
You're not helping.
Yeah.
Well, the reason that I'm excited is because I want to know what's next. You have to fill it with something. It can't just be a void.
Well, unfortunately, when we get rid of the check-in segment, we have to run 12 minutes of dead air.
Yeah.
So it's just
oh,
nothing.
no.
You'll just hear.
Yeah. So the most interesting thing that I did yesterday was feed my new boy, 6 months old, mac and cheese. It was so exciting. You can't even imagine it.
Did you give him a good mac and cheese?
Yeah. What type of mac and cheese was it?
It was Annie's from Costco.
Oh no!
Somebody called Child Family Services.
Annie's is not.
No, you
But
don't.
it doesn't have the,
Listen.
the fake color in it.
What's the good one?
You get the traditional Kraft in the box, man.
I'm sorry, I disagree, Carrie.
With whole milk and real butter.
The good one is the one that you make from scratch at home.
Well, if you want to do that, sure. But I mean, if you're just throwing it down, make sure that butter has salt in it.
Don't
and whole milk with the Kraft.
Don't get them started on that processed food. There's so much. There's so many. Look at the ingredients on that box.
Annie's is processed too.
Annie's is good.
It's processed.
No, it's processed.
Yeah.
There's crap in it, and it's processed.
It's all processed.
You're processed.
You. I'll process you.
All right.
Hey, Ty.
Sorry, Ty.
Well, yeah, if we never speak again, I don't want the tickets, but thanks for offering.
Hey, Ty, how would you like a copy of Geraldo Rivera's book, The Geraldo Show?
I would love that so much.
Okay,
I can't wait.
Okay,
I got one right over here. We'll put you on hold.
All right, there we go. That was smart getting rid of that.
Yeah, there's two of them over here.
Yeah, one of them's mine.
You wanted it?
No, I don't. Not at all.
Good. There's one on my desk, too, that I don't really want.
Hunter is here.
Dilly dilly, lords and ladies.
No, hey.
We don't.
No dilly.
Should we?
No dilly dilly.
I don't know. Maybe he has something more. What else you got?
Hunter,
I do.
watch it next time.
I called in the other day, and we for Copper Mug Chat, of course, and Lucky 13 was brought up. I've been thinking about it since then, and my girlfriend and I are going there this weekend for brunch.
Oh, there you go. They have a great
good
brunch.
What do they do at Lucky 13 for brunch?
Well, they do this. They do a chicken fried steak, Gina.
They do?
Yes, on their brunch, they do a chicken fried steak that is fabulous.
Ooh.
It's only Sunday mornings, though. It's
Yes.
amazing. I highly recommend going.
Yes, it's great.
All right.
All right.
Hunter, be gone.
Sean.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
So I just started in a new department at my company, new position. I came with a better schedule, came with better days off. I thought everything was going to be perfect until I realized what part of the Radio from Hell show I get to listen to in the morning on my way to work.
Check-ins, yeah.
So
That's
thanks for
It's not
giving
our
me a
fault.
reason to not like it as much.
But again, you called in. You're keeping this feature alive.
Yeah, but I think it's still going to stay alive. I'm sorry, guys. I don't think it's going anywhere. People want to call in and say stuff on the radio.
I don't.
Yeah. Sean, hey, Sean, what's the name of the company you work for?
I don't know if I should say that on there, guys.
You did say it, though. So say it, didn't you?
No.
Oh.
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay.
No.
Then you don't need to say it. I'm sorry.
All right. See you.
Yep.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Let's see. We got Heather checking in. The most exciting thing I did yesterday was tell my 3- and 4-year-old that we're going to Disneyland.
Oh, that's fun.
They got a custom letter from Mickey that I wrote.
But I hope they're not listening.
They were excited. Let's see. If you say dilly dilly, you are one of the biggest tools on the planet. Sorry.
I would agree. Yeah.
Jake in the basement checking in.
Jason in Cincinnati checking in before his 10-foot commute to his office.
Dock worker Mike checking in.
Let's see.
Stray J.
Steph checking in, waiting for Snowmageddon to get here so we can cancel youth baseball games this afternoon.
I wish someone would take in Jay. He's a stray.
He is stray, yes.
Somebody needs to take him in.
Mm-hmm. I guess we have to try a little bit today. Okay. Larissa's ex-husband checking in.
JD.
That's right.
I know him as best as Larissa's ex-husband.
That's right. Tim the tree guy, night guard checking in. Bus driver Allison, dock worker Mike. Okay, I guess we're going to do a show.
Well, really?
Yeah.
Really?
All right, let's do it.
Kind of don't want to.
I don't either, but there it is.
Kind of got
news coming up, along with Geek News on the radio, and then at 7 o'clock, it's Beat Gina Classic Arcade Game Trivia coming up.
So if you're smart, you get up early today to get going where you're going before the weather gets here.
I got to drive to Ogden
you do?
At noon today.
At noon?
Not happy about
You'll
that.
be in the middle of it, Bill.
Yep.
So yeah, actually, traffic is great right now. There's no accidents to report, no slowage to report, but weather is going to be an issue later on today. So I'm sure that traffic report will change. Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
You know, maybe when I drive to Ogden, I'll drop in and see Lolly.
Oh, you should.
She's up there in Weaver County.
See how she's doing.
Yeah, New Dwello.
She's not just dealing with Weaver County, though, all along the Wasatch Front.
New Dwello, they've put together this program to help you get grant money for a down payment on a home. Now, this doesn't have to be your first home. It doesn't have to be a new home. It just got to be a house under $437,000, okay? Under that cap. And then you can qualify. You come up with 1% of the down payment, and then you can be granted the rest of the money. So text the word money to 62687. That's money to 62687, and New Dwello will send you just a little, I think it's like 7 questionnaire, and you answer those. If you can answer them affirmatively, you are on your way to qualifying. Now, they're not going to, there's no obligation.
No, it's just you're gathering information.
Yeah. So go to money 62687, and if you're selling a home, this can help you too. So go to money 62687.
The music starts at 10 with a 1-hour nonstop music wingding on X96.
The mayor of Salt Lake has joined us here. It's Ralph Becker, and there's bad blood here, Mayor Becker.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Mayor,
you know what? You know what it is? I'm hurt.
It's bad blood
I'm
here.
hurt.
The worst thing you can do is when you accept a gift from a woman, not use it.
When I'm visiting with her.
Yeah,
yes,
especially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hell hath no fury like a Barbary scorned.
I went all the way to Dillard's and bought you a tie.
All the way to Dillard's.
All the way to Dillard's and bought you a tie.
That's a good, mile? 2 from your house, right?
I know what deep trouble is, and here I am. And, but I do want you to know, I have been wearing your tie regularly and proudly and advertising where I got it.
Yeah, See this?
Yeah.
Gina Barbarian.
Is it getting deeper?
Easy to say.
Now, Mayor Becker, our producer, Richie, says he sent I thought he had called you, but apparently he sent an email to your office saying, you may want to wear the tie when you come to see. So you didn't get it.
Mayor Becker going, I have an email address? What the?
Ralph Becker. Now, we should say that Gina bought him a tie because you were tired of seeing him wear
this tie, the tie he's wearing right now. Because every time I got a mailer from you while you were campaigning, different pictures, but same tie. And I was concerned that people were going to think you only had one tie. I was worried about you.
You want to know how to get her, Mayor Becker? You want to know how to get her?
Yeah,
Look at her very seriously and say, this tie was given to me by my dead mother.
Something like that.
You know, or...
You know, the thing is that this is a Jerry Garcia tie, and I don't think my mother knows Jerry Garcia or knew him.
It was that nice Garcia fellow who lived down the street. He used to sell us squash.
Mayor Becker, great. How's it going? I mean, are you enjoying being the mayor?
Made the transition and everything?
I'm having a great time. I've got great people around me working. The city's been so responsive. Everyone's jumping in to do things we need to do. So I'm feeling great.
I want to applaud you, by the way, for taking a bold stance and making what I think is one of the most significant moves I've ever seen a mayor make, and that is get rid of that ugly logo that Rocky Anderson had and go back to the traditional city logo. I'm actually serious.
Bill really likes that logo.
I like the traditional logo, that mountainy kind of, that was a dumb logo for Salt Lake.
It's the important issues Bill pays attention to.
Well, I realize these are symbols of the city, so there is importance there. It was really just a matter of personal preference, and as I mentioned when someone asked me about it, he said, "Why'd you do it?" And I said, "Well, someone came to us and said you need to pick a logo for the city, and we'll develop one for you." And I said, "Well, I don't want to spend city's money to get a new logo." So we looked back at what was available. Really liked that one of the city county building. Thought it was very distinguished, and
it's kind of formal looking and I think it represents you. I mean, you're a planner kind of a guy who likes detail, and that logo somehow says to me it's, I don't know how to say what I'm saying here.
I got you.
It's a very. It looks like it was done by an engineer, or something.
Well, I don't know. I think it looks good and obviously represents the city. So.
Happens to everybody.
Listen,
okay.
Listen. You need to get a button. My button never lags. Never.
It's like just a second slow. I hit it and then it reacts. I don't know if it's the button or the computer. It's throwing off my board game today. All right. We got Geek News coming up, and then Beat Gina.
I assume you've got the new Star Trek movie in Geek News. I see it here on Sean's movie list. The Borg versus McEnroe.
No, it's Bjorn Borg.
Bjorn Borg.
Oh, the tennis guy.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I thought it was the board.
I would go see
the board
that.
Yeah.
This I'm not going to go.
No.
I'm sorry. I wasn't even thinking.
Let's see. So we got all that coming up. But first, big boy news and opinnuendo brought to you by
The Roommate Loan by American Loans. The Roommate Loan allows up to 4 friends or roommates to combine their income and buy a home together. Buy a $300,000 home and your payment is about $1,700. Divide that by 4 roommates. You pay only $425 and it's your home. Call 800-NEW-LOAN or go to AmericanLoans.com.
You know, I hate to do stories like this because I love Mexico, and I love the people in Mexico, and I like the resorts, and I like the villages, and I like going
You've
there.
talked about retiring in Mexico.
I'd love to live in Mexico. So, Mexico's most popular holiday hotspot, Cancun.
Yes.
Has become overrun with drug gangs as violence in the tourist city town escalates to unprecedented levels. Cancun has seen 14 murders in just 36 hours, the highest ever in the country's recorded history, according to the Mexican newspaper. The latest violence on April 4 saw 14 people killed and at least 5 others left with gunshot wounds in 6 separate instances in Cancun. The figures surpassed Cancun's previous record of 9 in a day, which was back in 2004. More than 100 people have been slaughtered in Cancun since the beginning of 2018 as the Mexico drug cartels continue to spread fear throughout the country. The Mexican tourist hotspot's growing crime wave threatens to leave it a ghost town, with most murders in Cancun remaining unsolved. The thriving drug trade and widespread extortion fear is rampant. It threatens to have a spillover effect on the country's multi-billion-dollar tourism industry. Now, I don't know if most of where this violence is occurring. You know, there's sort of the resort areas, and then there's probably, I think there's the downtown area where maybe it's happening sort of away from the resort areas.
It still would give me pause about going down.
But I'm guessing if you want to take a vacation to Cancun, they are probably offering all kinds of great deals because of this, because it's scaring people away. And it would even give me pause. And I don't generally, overreact to stuff like that. But
this isn't the first of those stories that's been out there.
It's just horrible. It makes me just feel terrible. A 3-year-old child, 2 women. And 2 women, one the mother of that child, gunshot wounds in the shooting at a Smith's grocery store down on 4100 South Redwood Road. West Valley Police confirmed that they have the shooting suspect in custody. He was arrested at an apartment complex nearby. A Deputy Matt Elson of the West Valley Police Department says the suspect was walking northbound past the Smith's grocery store. He then paused at the front door, fired several shots into the store. He says right now they haven't been able to establish a motive. We don't know why. We don't know if there was a relationship with the people who were in the store.
See, now how old is this story? Because
this one is...
I heard this morning
today
that he accidentally shot himself and shrapnel hit these people.
Well, it's
he didn't fire into the store.
Now it didn't say. I heard that story too, and it didn't say accidentally. It said he shot himself in the leg, and the bullet ricocheted and hit, or the fragments from the bullet.
Yeah, but he didn't shoot into the store.
Yeah, I think that is correct, and maybe it was only one shot.
Yeah,
Barney.
But it does say that. I mean, I don't know why they would have said several shots if it was only one.
That's what I'm saying. It's
and as far as I know, there's no motive yet at this point. Maybe just the random act of a crazy guy. Now, a woman was injured. Hugo Padilla is the husband of the woman who was shot. He was walking out of the store with his wife and daughter. He said his family and another woman were hit. His little girl was hit, and she is apparently here in Salt Lake for liver treatment, liver cancer treatments. So that what a horrible,
as if they didn't have enough to deal with.
Yeah.
But really, I don't think anybody knows exactly why this has happened yet. And for everyone, including the shooter, the injuries are not life-threatening. So that's good news in it. Remember, Here we go. Emergency crews that responded to a vehicle fire in West Valley found a person in the truck burning up.
Oh.
Dead person. According to police, the vehicle was located 6400 South or 6400 West, 2550 South. When crews arrived, located a body inside this burning truck. Police believe it appears that the individual in the car was having some sort of medical issue while driving. Pulled into the area, and the underside of his car sparked a brush fire that caused the car to go up in flames and burn the person to death inside the car. So somebody tell me what's going on out in Harriman. What is going on out there?
I don't know. What are you
How
talking
many
about?
stories like this do we have from Harriman? I wish maybe you could do a quick Google search. Standoff, SWAT team, a guy barricaded in the house in Harriman.
Wow.
Police were asking neighbors to shelter in place. In a basement, if possible, they said. SWAT team confronted 35-year-old man who was armed with a rifle. The man was breaking out windows with the rifle at the home where a shed was on fire. The man's parents live at the home, and according to court records, he lived there himself as recently as 2014. Now, police said the man had possibly barricaded himself in, and but I think they resolved this. Now, this is an older story, too, but they resolved this without anybody being hurt.
They did tear gas in the back of the house, which forced him out the front of the house, and they were able to arrest him.
Now now this guy has a long string of misdemeanor convictions: assault, criminal mischief, driving under the influence, driving on a suspended license, all of that kind of stuff. He was on probation for a DUI, but
you think there's something in the water?
There
out
must
in Harriman?
be. Haven't we had a lot of stories like that? Harriman.
Yeah.
Standoffs and police, having to shoot people and people just.
Well, it used to be Eagle Mountain. You'd always hear the crazy stuff coming out.
They moved to Harriman?
Maybe.
The crazy moved to Harriman?
I'm tired of living out here in the country. Let's move to a less sort of a country place. But, well, you know what I think it is?
Harriman's pretty populated anymore.
You know what I think it is? They named one of their major roads after a murderer.
That's true.
Porter Rockwell Boulevard.
You're just asking
That's
for
what
crime.
it is. That's
It's like a curse, kind of.
I was thinking of making this a boner candidate, but we'll just do this as a story. One of President Donald Trump's judicial nominees, Wendy
You
Vitter.
didn't make this a boner candidate?
No. Wendy Vitter repeatedly avoided answering a simple question in her Senate confirmation hearing on Wednesday. Do you believe that Planned Parenthood kills more than 150,000 women every year? Vitter, a New Orleans lawyer, the wife of David Vitter, who was involved in a sex scandal in Virginia, and she stayed married to him and stayed by him even during that. She is a lawyer. Trump's choice for a lifetime seat on the U.S. District Court for Eastern District of Louisiana made that claim that 150,000 women were killed by Planned Parenthood every year. In May of 2013, a speech in protest of a new Planned Parenthood clinic in New Orleans. Planned Parenthood says they promote women's health, Vitter said at the time. It's the saddest of ironies that they kill over 150,000 females a year. The first step in promoting women's health is to let them live. Now, Vitter acknowledged on Wednesday's hearing that her past comment was a reference to aborted fetuses. But still, she kept dodging the question. Senator, I don't recall the exact context of the comment, she said.
Well, I don't recall. It was
I've got it right here.
I'll tell you what it was. He said, and he read it.
Yeah.
And she said, well, and then she said, well, I am pro-life, but I would set my religious or personal views aside.
Lie.
And then there was another. She also danced around and wouldn't answer a question about
Brown versus the Board of Education?
Board, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, school desegregation.
Do you think that was correct? That ruling?
That should be a no-brainer to say. Well, of course, that was the right.
Yeah.
What she said is, don't force me to say whether I agree or disagree with something. It's already law.
Yeah.
How hard is it to say? Well, of course, that was the right decision.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's
wrong.
If I would hope that the Senate will
not confirm her.
Kick her to the curb.
I think they will.
Yep.
I think they will.
No.
Well, let's see.
Crossed.
And, women are lining up to date Rudy Giuliani.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No,
Really?
they're not.
In fact, they are.
Really?
The about to be...
what kind of women?
Well...
You.
People, apparently, Rudy is coming off to the Upper East Side sex kittens like catnip.
What?
They're purring at him, sidling. in his direction.
Ugh.
This is the page 6, the gossip page in the New York Post, which is always fun.
The sex kittens?
Pussycats in their 40s, so okay, like maybe really in their late 40s, are setting saucers of milk. One's meowed that she's always loved Rudy,
Is that
and
how
no
you-
matter what, he's still Rudy.
Is that how you catch a Rudy? Is you put out a saucer of milk and
No.
he shows up on your porch?
No. Dylan, on, of course, x96.com/live, you can see pictures accompanying these news stories. And Dylan, I would just suggest that instead of that picture of Rudy Giuliani, from now on, you just Google image Simon Bar Sinister underdog, because he looks just like that cartoon character. He really does. So.
And we're all about to die, you know.
Yes.
Planet X is heading toward Earth right now and is going to kill everyone.
Well,
a planet is headed here?
Well,
it's not a planet.
It's
then, is it?
called Planet X. It's an imagined planet, typically also named Nibiru, that is on course to hit or maybe pass by Earth with disastrous consequences that are the kind of thing normally relegated to vanity press published books or tabloids. But now Fox News has put it on.
Tell you what,
their website.
I'm going to fix it right now.
Yeah,
because it's a scientific fact that I have the Force.
Yeah, well, sure.
And I'm going to force push Planet X away right now.
Right now, Carrie?
There you go. And now it won't happen. It's
you
a non-story.
saved all mankind.
I've just saved all mankind. So
The Planet X theory emerged in 1995, and usually you see it on the front page of the National Enquirer.
Yeah.
But now Fox News, there's a screenshot. It's on their website.
Yep.
Planet X headed toward Earth.
There it is.
Will kill us April 23rd.
Well, they're citing a biblical prophecy, so it must be true.
Biblical prophecy claims the rapture is coming April 23rd. Numerologists say.
Well, it must be true.
And so
you've got biblical prophecies, numerology, all of that. So I tried to force push it away, folks.
No, you did. I saw you do it.
We'll
I'm
see.
Sorry, that doesn't work on the Bible.
We'll see. Yeah, it's like rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
It doesn't work on the Bible.
Force Bible numerology. It's
All right.
the whole. Anyway.
Sports and weather and traffic?
Well, the Jazz lost, Real lost. That was not a good day for Utah sports. I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. Is it? Is it your fault?
No.
Is it?
No.
Maybe it is your fault.
No, it's not my fault.
Maybe it's Gina's fault.
No,
Might be.
So now the Jazz know that they are the 5th seed in the playoffs, but they're still in the playoffs. They play the Thunder Saturday, April 14th will be game 1 of their playoff run. So that's sports. Weather, right now it's warm, 55 right now.
Oh, yeah, it's real pleasant out there.
That will not hang around. I'm looking at the radar, and there's a big wall of water headed our way. It'll start out as rain this morning and change over to snow by this evening. And the temperatures will drop quite a bit. We'll be down in the 40s today. So right now is as warm as it's going to be today. Not affecting traffic so far yet, although we do have a crash northbound I-15 at 106 South. And looks like that's the only crash being reported so far this morning. That's traffic.
All right, thank you. Get ready for Beat Gina at 7 o'clock. It is classic video game trivia.
What's the prize? We've got...
Yeah, what is the prize?
This is a good prize. It's Utah Royals tickets for their home opener on Saturday, which is going to sell out, they think. So you can get tickets for that.
All right. Is this sponsored?
Always,
Carrie, always.
You don't even need to ask.
Cabin Fever, everything from gifts, puzzles, books, playing cards, retro candy. They have the Necco wafers, I think. Cabin Fever, located in the heart of Charlie Square, 5th South, 7th East. Cabin Fever, so much more than a card store.
The classic video game trivia, because Rampage opens this weekend, and that's based on a classic video arcade game. So you know. Let's see. It's all about Avengers. Infinity War. Opens up in a couple of weeks.
Right.
Now, I'm seeing it, let's see, on the 24th.
Carrie's bragging again.
It's a Don't You Know Who I Am screening. And,
well, then why wasn't I invited?
And I will, I've been told that I can review it right after I see it.
They're so confident in it, they're not worried about you saying anything bad.
Well, they're asking no spoilers, please.
Which you wouldn't.
Which I wouldn't do, So, But there you go. So it's all about Avengers right now. It's only everything that I've ever wanted in my life, and it'll be up on the big screen.
I'm a little worried because I know you've said that when this happens, it's pretty much over.
Well, no, I have to stick around until the second one.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And again, the Russo brothers, the directors, they're saying, we're not going to tell you the name of the second one until way later, because it's the name of the second
It'll
one.
give it away?
Spoils this one,
Oh.
you know, or something, some sort of deal. Because
What's it called? The Avengers. Everyone dies.
Well,
something like that.
I mean, that's in the comic books. That's what happens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Thanos
What?
wins. In the Infinity Gauntlet story, which this is based on, Thanos wins.
Well, that doesn't seem right.
Well, he has the power of a god. There's not much.
Well, Thor's a god.
Well, yeah, but kind of yes and no.
Kind of a, not very well respected god anymore.
He's like a god with a small g, you know.
I guess. I don't just.
Anyway, but it's all about Infinity War right now. Roughly 2 weeks to go before it opens. Online ticketing service Fandango reports that Infinity War is on course to pre-sell more tickets than any other superhero movie in history.
Isn't it combined?
Yeah, supplanting Black Panther, which has been the current record holder for everything. It is outpacing Black Panther by more than 2 to 1. It's outpacing all of them: Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man Homecoming, Guardians 2, Doctor Strange, Civil War, Ant-Man. It's just cleaning up, just like Thanos is cleaning up. But you can get ready for Infinity War.
Okay.
I want you to Google image.
Okay.
Infinity Gauntlet fitted cap. Fitted cap.
Now, the Infinity Gauntlet, that was in...
Now, that's the glove.
Yeah, and that was the one that he was putting the jewels in.
Yeah, he puts all of the Infinity Stones in it. There's 6 of them. And those stones have been laid throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the past 10 years. And once you collect all 6, then you have the power of a god.
It's just a baseball hat.
Well, it is. You might think it's just a baseball cap as you're looking at it.
Silly woman.
It's the 5950 New Era Infinity Gauntlet fitted cap.
Yeah.
Made from the finest golden polyesters.
Yeah.
The cap features an embroidered version of the Avengers Infinity War movie logo, as well as 6 recreations of the Infinity Stones on the top of the cap. On the underside, there's a detailed lining that features illustrations of each stone and the character who's discovered or grappled with each stone's power.
Yeah.
It's only $100.
For a baseball hat?
You dare say it's just a baseball cap?
It's a baseball.
No.
It's a baseball cap.
No, it is
$100 worth of it.
So much more than that.
I guess.
People will spend that.
It doesn't give you the power of a god. It gives you the power of a douche.
When are you getting yours?
None.
No?
I don't wear baseball
that's
caps.
Right,
you know?
He needs the Infinity Fedora.
I do. Maybe someone will make one for me. We got some casting news this week about Star Trek Discovery, which I quite enjoy. We heard
this is the TV show.
This is the one that's on the CBS app.
Right.
We heard earlier this week that Anson Mount from what's that motorcycle show that you like that he was on?
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. He was on that. He was also Black Bolt in the Marvel very bad TV series Inhumans. But he will be playing Christopher Pike.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Christopher
Father
Pike.
Daddy Pike?
No, Captain. He's not a daddy.
Oh, I don't know.
Why?
Christopher Pike was the original captain of the Enterprise.
Yeah,
Gina.
isn't he somebody's
He
dad?
got all burned up.
No, he's not anyone's dad that I know of. But he will be playing Captain Pike in Star Trek Discovery. We don't know how, if he's going to be like a regular on the show. My guess is he's just on once or twice. And another one that we're not sure how long she's going to stick around, but this is kind of interesting. Tig Notaro, the comedian, will appear as a guest star on Star Trek Discovery. Does not say how many episodes that she is slated to appear in. They're going to start shooting in sometime this month. She will be playing an engineer. Denise Reno is the name of her character from the USS Hiawatha, which was briefly mentioned in a Star Trek video game. So I guess it's canon.
Well, yeah.
But she will be joining that show as well.
Oh, Anson Mount is in Hell on Wheels.
Hell on Wheels, that's it. Okay.
He's not in Sons of
I
Anarchy.
thought it was Sons of Anarchy. They're gritty shows in the desert. That's all I know. All right. Let's see. Joe Hill, who is Stephen King's kid, I guess, wrote a book.
He changed his name?
Yeah.
Just because he didn't want to be
He didn't want to, people to think that he's sliding on his dad's notices.
But everybody knows.
He wrote a book called NOS4A2.
Oh, God, he looks just like his dad.
He does. Isn't that unfortunate?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But NOS4A2 is a license plate that reads Nosferatu. And they're taking that book and they're making it into a 10-episode series on AMC. So you can wait for that. Batgirl is back on, has a new writer because Joss Whedon left, and they've hired Christina Hodson. She's just working on the Transformers spin-off Bumblebee, which I'm hearing good things about.
Who would be the villains in the Batgirl movie?
The Batgirl movie could be any of the Batman
Any of the Batman
Oh,
villains?
yeah, it could be any of them. And finally this, if you've been waiting for Nathan Fillion to return as Captain Mal,
Captain Hot Pants
from Firefly, your wait is over.
Yeah?
Hang on.
Oh, I know. I bet I know.
No, he is going to be wearing the costume on American Housewife, the sitcom on ABC. They're not saying exactly what, but this was released on his Instagram, him in costume with the cast.
I wonder if Frakes directs some of those, because they're buddies, you know.
Oh, they could be. Could be. So there
I
you
don't
go.
think he fits into those pants anymore, does
Oh,
he?
I don't know. Oh, yeah.
I don't know. He's pretty squishy.
No,
He
no.
is.
He's gotten squishy.
No. No.
He's. I'm not going to weigh in on that one.
I'm weighing in squishy. Let's see. We've got a crash northbound I-15 at 106 South. It's the only accident being reported this morning, but I would plan. Oh, somebody else says I-15 South comes to an abrupt stop around 5600 Riverdale exit. So a couple people dealing with that this morning. But weather might be an issue as it starts to rain and then switch over to snow later today. But so far, so good.
All right, so we got Beat Gina coming up. It's classic video game trivia. 877-602-9696 is the number.
You could win tickets to the home opener, which is probably going to sell out, of the Utah Royals. And but what are you going to give me? Huh?
Oh, you have to give Gina a good prize if she beats you. So
you
come
ready
up with
for that?
something. Yeah, go ahead.
877-602-9696. Let's see, SaltLakeFilmSociety.org is the website.
You better hope Nathan Fillion never comes to do a presentation at Salt Lake Film Society, Gina. You better hope.
Why?
Because they do. I just looked him up. He looks fine. SLFS.org for information on Salt Lake Film Society. Look, they do all kinds of terrific films. You know, they have great movies there, but they have programs as well. I remember what they brought in Peter Bogdanovich. And he did a session. So they've done all kinds of things like that, and they continue to do those things and bring you the best in documentaries and also independent films. So Salt Lake Film Society, they could use your support.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to go to slfs.org and check out the Red Carpet Club, that gives you certain advantages and things like that. You know, special screening announcements. There are various levels of help that you can give them. Please support the Salt Lake Film Society, slfs.org.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
This is very unorthodox.
At 10 a.m., right after Radio from Hell, at 1 p.m. while you're listening in the workplace, and at 4:30 for your drive home. On Twitter at RFHBill.
Do you know who I am?
Radio from Hell on X96.
We have a line open to play Beat Gina if you would like to play. 877-602-9696.
You could win Utah Royals tickets to the home opener this Saturday.
Now, if Gina doesn't pick line 1, I would like to say to that person, I'm interested in what you have to offer, and you could contact me off the air.
Beat Gina is brought to you by Prohibition, Utah's sexiest new speakeasy. Thursday nights are always roaring at Prohibition. Burlesque dancers and geeks that drink. Come see what everyone's whispering about. Go to prohibitionutah.com.
Now, this is the Beat Gina theme song.
Yeah.
But I think I want a new one.
Why?
Because I just remembered this one, and I think I want this one now. Here we go. Let's see if I can get it going here. Come on now.
Line 2 still open, 877-602-9696. You could get in and beat Gina.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's good.
Like this one?
Okay.
All right,
I like that.
We'll
Sure.
use this one as the theme for Beat Gina today.
That's a great idea, Carrie.
Oh, Johnny's here.
Yes, Johnny, tell them what they win if they beat Gina. You did that?
Well, Gina already did that, Carrie, but I'm ready to keep scoring the game and make
Okay.
sure everything stays on track. Remember, Carrie's hat today provided by Mr. Guy of Hollywood.
That's right. Okay, let's see what we got here. Line 3 is just coming in, so let's begin the process of picking the contestants. This is how we decide. We don't discriminate by sex or anything else. It's just the prize that they're willing to give to Gina if she beats them at classic arcade game trivia. Line 1 is offering you, Gina, homemade bath bombs.
See, and I'm really that's the one I'm interested in.
It's not your prize. It's my prize.
No, but I'm just saying to the person can contact me off the air.
For homemade bath bombs.
I'll buy them from you.
Line 3 is offering you a bottle of wine and Reese's peanut butter cups.
Okay.
And line 2 is offering you cupcake wine.
It's a brand.
Yes. So 2 wines and bath bombs.
2 wines and bath bombs.
Well,
One has Reese's peanut butter cups.
You are, yeah.
Bill wants the bath bomb. Bill, for you, I will try to win you the bath bomb.
And give you the bath bomb.
Thank you.
I will try.
Thank you.
So you're playing up against Casey.
Okay.
I love a good bath bomb.
Hi, Casey.
Casey?
Hi.
Is that right? Is that how you say your name, Casey?
It's Cassie.
Oh,
Cassie.
okay. All right.
So Cassie, and you make your own bath bombs, huh?
Yes.
I
right.
hope Gina gets them for me.
Cassie, here is the deal. It gives you strategy if you go first. So heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails. All right. The coin toss app says it is heads. Gina goes first. Sorry
Bill,
about that.
can you feel the bath happening as
Feel
we
it?
speak?
I'm really looking forward. Johnny loves bath bombs too. Don't forget Johnny.
Johnny loves bath bombs playing the Warp Tour. Let's see. All right, now this is multiple choice trivia.
Okay.
Gina, if you get this wrong, Cassie gets a chance to steal your point away. And the same for Cassie if she gets things wrong. So let's start.
Okay.
Classic video game arcade trivia.
'Kay.
Gina, what popular rock group of the late 70s / early 80s had a video game created about them?
Okay.
Was it A, Journey, B, Queen, C, Asia, D, Pink Floyd?
Queen?
Incorrect. Cassie.
Cassie with a chance to steal.
I would say Journey.
Journey is correct.
Journey is correct. Cassie leads the game.
It's actually kind of a fun game.
1-0.
I played it.
And Cassie controls the question.
Cassie. Which of the following animals is not an enemy in the game Frogger? Is it A, a crocodile, B, a dog, C, snake, D, otter?
D, otter.
That is incorrect, Gina.
I'm sorry, Cassie.
Dog?
Dog is correct.
Dog wins the point for Gina, and Gina controls the question with a chance to go ahead.
All right.
Hang in there, Cassie.
That's a good one.
What flavor of bath bombs do you make, Cassie?
They're not flavors. You don't eat them.
I just used a grapefruit one yesterday, Gina.
That's a scent, not a flavor.
Oh,
we make all kinds. We make like vetiver ones for men,
That sounds
we have
lovely.
Eucalyptus mint, peppermint.
I'm all over that, Cassie.
You haven't won yet.
All right.
Back off, Johnny.
I forgot whose question is
Mine.
Gina
Yours, okay.
controls the question.
Before he became the princess-saving, Bowser-defeating plumber hero that we know and love today, what was Mario's original name? Was it A, Jumpman, B, Donatello, C, Fujiman, or D, Plumber Man?
Plumber Man.
Incorrect,
Not
Cassie.
Plumber
Cassie,
Man.
chance to... Gina, not Plumber Man. Cassie, chance to steal and go ahead.
Can you repeat the answers for me?
Jumpman, Donatello, or Fujiman?
Jumpman.
Jumpman is correct.
Cassie goes ahead 2-0, and Cassie controls the question.
So Cassie
chance to
could,
win.
Cassie could take it all right now. All right. In what game were you a bartender that tossed beers across a bar in order to get them to thirsty customers before they fell on the floor and shattered? Is it A, Happy Hour, B, Tapper, C, Beer on Tap, or D, Mike Tyson's Blackout?
Tapper.
Tapper is correct.
Cassie wins the game, and I don't get any bath bombs.
I'm so sorry, Johnny.
But Cassie wins some fabulous prizes. Gina, what are those prizes?
Utah Royals tickets.
I
for
said
the-
prizes because she gets 2 of them.
Yeah. It's a pair of tickets to go to the home opener this Saturday at Rio Tinto Stadium. I think you can still get tickets, but it is looking like it's going to sell out. So if you want to buy tickets, go to rsl.com.
So, Cassie, when you come to pick up the tickets, if you want to leave me a couple of samples,
Don't do that.
I'd be happy
She
to.
won fair and square.
Why shouldn't I do that? Tell me why.
You're asking for a prize when I didn't earn it for
I
you.
think Cassie would like to show off her bath bombs. Am I right?
I absolutely would.
All right.
All right.
Cassie, going to put you on hold, and we'll get your information to get your prizes to you.
Why we even play the game if you're just going to beg for the prize?
I'm just asking for a sample.
So it's a bath nugget? Not a whole bomb?
Okay. Would you just stop?
All right. Give
We
us some traffic, Gina.
Crash northbound Mountain View corridor 54th South in West Valley. Crash eastbound I-80 just east of Lambs Canyon. That one's off to the left shoulder. Crash northbound I-15 106 South in Salt Lake with Del Tacos 2 for menu. Now you compare any 2 classic burritos for just $5. Try the Del Combo and classic grilled chicken burrito only at Del Taco. Participation may vary.
Besides, it wouldn't be a bath nugget. It'd be a bath grenade.
Because it's a bomb.
Yeah, smaller one. All right, here we go. Coming up, boners, right? Here's round 1. Here are your candidates. Number 1, a raise? I don't think so, sir. Boner candidate number 2. Well, you can't arrest somebody who's in the river. You can't. And boner candidate number 3, radio scum.
Oh, radio scum stories? Okay. All that and more on the way with round 1 of your boner voting and big boy news and opinioendo right after these. Geek Show is me and my best friends hanging out.
You're listening to All Things Considered Dull and Pretentious on NPR. I'm your host, the Lyman Pettigrew. You may refer to me as Lyman Pettigrew. Our next program is funded by a grant from the Lyman Pettigrew Foundation. Every Thursday, we like to take a look at children's book reviewer, Mongo. We call it Children's Book Review with Mongo. Today, Mongo will be reviewing the timeless classic Runaway Bunny by Margaret Wise Brown, illustrated by Clement Hurd.
Mongo, Runaway Bunny.
Is that all, Mongo?
No, much more. Runaway Bunny bad. Make Mama Bunny chase after him. Bad Bunny. If Mongo run away from Mama, Mama bunk Mongo on the head. Bad Mongo, bonk bonk. Mongo also hate Runaway Bunny because no colored pictures on pages. Mongo like pretty pictures. Mongo hate words.
This has been Children's
Wait,
Book...
Mongo not finished. Bad character development in Runaway Bunny. Mongo not care when Bunny run away. What motivate Bunny? What compelling reason to turn page? Plus, Mongo thinks something kinky going on with Margaret Wise Brown and Clement Hurd. Bad book. Very bad.
Now this has been Children's Book Review with Mongo. Coming up next, we look at the explosion of goat cheese making in America's heartland, and later on we take a very, very quiet look at the exciting NBA playoffs on All Things Dull and Pretentious on NPR. But first, this news from parts of the world you've never heard of.
It's 7 right now. Time for round one of your boner voting. Herein 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. Boner, of course, means mistake. So we'll give you 2 candidates now, then a third after the news. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates which one story is the worst, which one should go forward to boner fight and get that 50-50 chance to become boner of the day. Once it wins this round, it'll go up against the winner of round 2. Round 2, 3 new candidates for you to vote on. We do that at 8:20. We throw them both in the ring for boner fight at 9:20. That's when boner of the day is decided. So one of you lucky random boner voters will receive
a Can't Buy It, Got to Win It Radio from Hell boner t-shirt courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair. Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car check over before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
Boner candidate number 1. A raise? I don't think so. Sir. Sir. When Dion Cease filed for unemployment compensation, he claimed that he was fired from his job at a Kentucky Fried Chicken, a KFC, for asking for a raise and for being too demanding. The York man's ex-employer insisted, no, there's a little bit more to it than that. The restaurant's owners, or the eatery as it says here, I'm going to just start calling all restaurants eateries. Hey, would you like to go out to the eatery tonight? What eatery do we want to go to?
I know of an eatery nearby.
The eatery's owners claim that Mr. Cease was canned in January after putting on quite a show. He ranted. He cursed at his superiors after demanding that a coworker be fired for sexually harassing him. Also, they claimed Mr. Cease demanded to be addressed as sir and caused such a profanity-laced ruckus the management called the police. So he just works back in the kitchen, frying chicken. And he's demanding a raise and insisting that his employers call him sir. In an opinion by a judge in the state court, they concluded that Mr. Cease was correctly and rightfully terminated by the KFC. A raise? I don't think so, sir. Here's boner candidate number 2. Hey, you can't arrest someone who's in the river.
I don't know the story, but I love the title.
A man who told police, by the way, this is in St. George. A man who told police he was just going for a joyride in a city-owned golf cart was arrested Wednesday. Police arrested Ian Nathaniel Shaw of St. George on charges of theft and failing to stop an officer's command and trespassing. Employees at the St. George Waste Services Department noticed that Mr. Shaw was trespassing on the property, and they called the cops during the late afternoon, according to a probable cause statement. Employees told police that Mr. Shaw began driving around in a city-owned golf cart at the plant.
Okay.
In an attempt to stop him, several employees boxed him in with other vehicles, which caused Mr. Shaw to get out of the cart and run toward an open field near the Sun River Clubhouse, according to the police. As a responding police circulated the area, they located Mr. Shaw walking in the Virgin River.
Okay.
Officers told Shaw he was being detained and to walk toward them. According to the statement, he initially refused to follow the police orders before officers managed to take him into custody. When asked why he refused to follow orders, Shaw said, "A buddy of mine told me the police can't arrest somebody who's in the river."
A buddy told me.
That's the best legal advice, comes from someone.
Oh, yeah, you're in the... Yeah.
My buddy said police can't arrest you if you're in the river.
My friend the Wad, he's a legal genius.
My friend the Wad.
And he said, there's a picture of
You
him.
want to know? There's x96.com/live.
It's maritime law.
It is. It's maritime law.
You want to know? You want to know why we call him Wad? You probably don't. Boner candidate number 2, and then he said, "I was just going on a joyride, man." Number 2, you can't arrest somebody who's in the river. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, radio scum.
Okay, radio scum coming up for round 1. Candidate number 3 in the boner voting. But first, big boy news and opinion window brought to you by...
The roommate loan by American Loans allows up to 4 friends or roommates to combine their income and buy a home together. Buy a $300,000 home and your payment's about $1,700. Divide that by 4 roommates, you pay only $425, and it's your home. Call 800-NEW-LOAN or go to AmericanLoans.com.
Oh, by the way, I did that story about a standoff, a SWAT standoff with a guy out in Harriman, and which they resolved finally with no one being injured. But I said, it seems to me that there's a lot of stuff like that happening in Harriman. What's going on in Harriman? And I Googled, I don't know what I think I just Googled crime rate.
Did you Google what's going on in Harriman?
No, and I didn't. I Googled crime rate Harriman, Utah, and it pops right up. The chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime in Harriman is 1 in 46. Based on FBI crime data, Harriman is not one of the safest communities you can live in America. Relative to Utah, Harriman has a crime rate that is higher than 70% of the state's cities and towns of all sizes.
What the hell, Harriman?
Well, I think the people in Harriman know you can't arrest somebody if they're in the river. All right. This is a story from Australia, and I tell you that because I'm going to read this story exactly as it's written.
Okay.
Police have charged a motorist with pulling out a chainsaw out of his car and revving it up while approaching screaming bystanders in Sydney's west. The incident on the Horsley Drive in Fairfield was captured on video on Tuesday. Police allege that just before 5 p.m., a Toyota Hilux and a Jeep stopped at an intersection of the Horsley Drive and McLaren Street. A 25-year-old driver of the Helix then exited his car and approached the Jeep and allegedly punched the car's driver through the open window. After both men left the scene, a police investigation commenced. The alleged offender was arrested at Fairfield Police Station and charged with affray and being armed with attempt to commit an indictable offense. The bizarre road rage attack also involved him waving around a chainsaw.
Just happened to have it in the car for emergency tree cutting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love the way those things. He was charged with affray, A-F-F-R-A-Y. Charged with affray.
Opportunities are available in all walks of life in Australia. So if you're young and if you're healthy, why not get a boat and come to Australia?
Yes, indeed. Parkland school shooter Nicholas Cruz says he wants to donate his inheritance, which is apparently considerable, to victims of the people he killed.
Well, that's darn nice of him.
Heal the community. A lawyer for Mr. Cruz, who killed 17 people with semi-automatic weapon at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, said that any wealth his client receives would go to survivors of the gunman's rampage. Mr. Cruz does not want those funds, whatever money he is entitled to. He would like the money donated to an organization that the victims' families believes would be able to facilitate healing in our community or an opportunity to educate our community about the issues that have ripened over the last 4 or 5 months. Cruz's mother died last November, and he is set to inherit $800,000 from a trust fund when he turns 22.
Yeah. Well, it's not like he's going to be able to spend that money.
No, I don't think so.
Nope.
Pay his lawyers.
Let's see. A little more about that story with at the shooting at the Smiths out on the west side.
Oh, yeah.
Police arrested the man after 3 people, including a toddler, were injured in the shooting outside of the Smiths grocery. Police arrested Rufino Cervantes. He is 36. He was booked into jail for investigation of felony discharge with injury and other charges. Mr. Cervantes fired one shot that struck his own leg, and the bullet fragmented, striking 3 other people, according to police. Cervantes was found inside of an apartment at the Shadowbrook Apartments. He was injured and transported away from the scene in ambulance. Esmeralda Padilla, a 3-year-old girl, her mother, Erica Ortega, and another woman were each injured in the leg, West Valley Police said. This was yesterday about just before 2 p.m. Everybody will survive. Ortega's husband, Hugo, said that his wife was hit once and Esmeralda, his daughter, was hit twice while they were walking out of the Smiths. The family is from Las Vegas, and they've been in Utah for the last 5 months so that Esmeralda can receive treatment at Primary Children's Hospital after being diagnosed with kidney cancer. We are fighting with the cancer and everything, and then this happens, he said.
So terrible.
It is very, very hard. The feds, when they raided Michael Cohen's office and apartment and car...
They executed a search warrant, Bill.
Yes, they were executing a search warrant. It's easier to say raided. FBI agents sought records tied to President Trump's infamous Access Hollywood recording when they raided the law office. The warrant that authorized Monday's searches also allowed the feds to seize evidence showing whether lawyer Cohen tried to, quote, suppress damaging information about Trump during the 2016 presidential campaign. Cohen has admitted to paying Stormy Daniels $130,000. Both Cohen and Trump have said Trump was not aware of the deal. Trump was the star of The Apprentice when he was caught on a hot microphone bragging to Billy Bush, then the host of Access Hollywood, about how his fame enabled him to kiss women whenever he wanted and to grab them by the
party.
Yeah.
You just move on them.
The recording made in 2005 was made shortly after Trump had married his wife, Melania. It didn't surface until about a month before the election when it was revealed by the Washington Post. Now, Trump had downplayed that. Just locker room talk, private conversation many years ago. Sorry if anybody's offended. But so they were looking for something else related to that. And there is speculation that there might be also video. There was audio because a camera was rolling.
Well, the video that is accompanying that is a bus pulling up. Now they had lav mics on, the personal microphones on each of them, and so they were being recorded as the camera was approaching.
Well, they're saying that there might be some other video.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it would be something if he was making some hand gestures to go along with that. I think people would be pretty revolted by that.
I'm revolted anyway. The people that need to be revolted don't care. That's the thing that frustrates me.
You know who does care?
Wrong.
46, was it now, Kerry? 46 Republican members.
Let me find that.
Of the House, not the Senate. 46 members of the House, Republican members of the House now, have said they will not seek re-election.
Yeah,
they're leaving.
They are just retired. They're stepping out.
They are like cockroaches scattering when the light goes on. They are cowards. They are spineless jerks. 46 of them saying we are not going to run for re-election. Why? Well, why do I call them cowards? Because they're leaving because of Trump.
Yeah,
most of them.
They know they can't win,
and they haven't had the guts to call him out.
Yeah. Nope.
They haven't had the guts to say, I can't support this. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't like this. They're just leaving. They're leaving, and they're just going to go home and lick their wounds and spend their money. And that's just unconscionable.
Yep.
That just makes me just sick.
Wrong.
Stay there and say.
And do something.
Be done with you. Be done with you.
Well, I mean, these Republicans have always been a party over country. It's time to fight for your party. It really is, because it's going to
go away.
It's going to be hurt severely if this keeps up.
Hey, do you know there's a new cheese store down in Beaver?
Oh.
It's going to offer visitors a unique dairy experience. Just thought you'd like to know.
A unique dairy experience?
Unique dairy experience.
I don't think you should say that.
How you?
The headline says it, Gina. It must be true. I haven't actually even read the story.
What could it be that's so unique?
Okay. It's going to be called the Creamery.
That's not so unique.
It will feature a full-service cafe, serving breakfast and lunch, and it will include an interactive educational experience about dairy.
Interactive.
About dairy, about cheese.
There's going to be a guy sitting there on a stool telling you about how cheese is made. That's the interactive part.
And they'll have cheese curds.
I love cheese curds, but that's not unique.
Artisanal cheeses, ice cream, and convenience items.
Do you know something about this?
Well, I don't know anything particularly about this place, but if you have ever been to the Tillamook Cheese Factory in Oregon.
Who hasn't?
Have any of you guys ever been?
I drove past it. We didn't stop.
It is a fascinating place. So this sounds silly and ridiculous.
I'm sure it is.
But if it is anything like the Tillamook Cheese Factory, it will be where kids will go on field trips to.
Cheese rides.
Because it's cool.
They got cheese rides.
You can get your picture taken
with the cheese.
Yeah, but Tillamook is a thing.
Yeah, this is just a creamery. It's a creamery.
Beaver's not famous for cheese,
but not yet. Tillamook wasn't always famous for cheese. By the way, there's your sign off right there.
New cheese store in Beaver to offer visitors unique dairy experience.
Right,
unique.
And Utah will love it because it's ice cream. We'll look right past the cheese and go, oh, ice cream place.
I love ice cream curds, too. Yeah. They're delicious.
Tillamook ice cream, not so good, though.
No.
Depending on the flavor, you can go really bad with the Tillamook ice cream.
Yeah, every flavor of Tillamook I've had so far has just been average.
Have you tried the mudslide and mixed in peanut butter?
I have to mix in things?
No, you don't have to.
Oh.
You don't have to. I choose to. The Tillamook mudslide is great on its own, but I will mix in peanut butter with it.
I shouldn't have to do anything
to it.
it.
No, you shouldn't, but I know that...
yeah, Ben and Jerry figured that out a long time ago.
Well, let me just say, truffled kerfuffle.
Because don't you mix in with the Americone Dream?
No. Don't need
It's
to.
all together.
No,
all the stuff is in there already.
I swear that you did with one of those.
No, there was one that I did, but I stopped buying that because you shouldn't have to.
He realized he was being a tool.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait a minute, what am
I'm
I
being
doing?
a tool.
All right.
Let's do weather.
Weather traffic.
We opened the blinds here because I wanted to see the weather.
We got it.
There's weather happening. The rain is here. The snow will come later after temperatures fall.
Just when I'm on my way to Ogden, I'm sure.
You might want to rethink your trip to Ogden.
I can't. I've got to go.
Bill, there's a crash, 24th Street, Harrison Boulevard in Ogden right now.
I'm not there.
It'll probably clear up by the time you need to go. Crash eastbound SR 201 6200 west. Crash northbound Mountain View Corridor 54 south in West Valley. Crash eastbound I-80. This is just east of Lambs Canyon. Off to the left shoulder. Crash northbound I-15 106 south. That's traffic.
All right.
Boner candidate number 3, radio scum. So the executive chairman of the San Diego Padres, his name is Ron Fowler.
Mm-hmm.
And he said in a tweet, which I will explain the details of in a moment, making light of suicide, recent format changes, and more is causing our team to reevaluate the radio contract we have. So it's that simple. The Padres, rightfully upset by an inexcusable, irresponsible, and utterly heartless social media post promoting a radio show that made light of suicide in a place gutted by far too many suicides. When new 97.3 FM morning host Kevin Klein, I believe he's a sports radio host, asked listeners on Twitter to, quote, jump to a new morning show with an image of the Coronado Bridge, the raw insensitivity of it sickened everyone. Imagine the absolute horror experienced by the family or friends of any of the more than 400 people who have leapt to their deaths during the Coronado Bridge's 50-year history. The station is the new caretaker of Padres baseball, an arrangement prickly enough that the franchise already reassured ticket holders that another host, Dan Celio, would steer clear of the team after sidestepping prior accusations. So this other guy, accusations of sexism, racism, and comments deemed anti-Semitic, and now this. And the Padres are considering maybe just walking away from the station altogether. And Mr. Klein, by the way, who is set to start a new morning show on that station,
He was supposed
not.
He was supposed to start about 2 weeks ago.
So never even did a show.
Never even got on the air. No.
And he
Good.
and he will not get on the air. It looks like. So, I mean,
and this story is just huge in the industry.
What is the thinking?
He thought he was being edgy. But this story is huge to the industry. So good luck, Mr. Klein, finding another job.
Boner candidate number 3, radio scum.
All right. Let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, a raise? I don't think so, sir. A cursing KFC worker who demanded that his employers call him sir lost a bid for unemployment compensation. The judge said, sir, I side with your employers. No comp for you. Boner candidate number 2, listen, you can't arrest somebody who's in the river. St. George police arrested a man for theft of a golf cart. He said it was just for a joyride, and he also was wading in the Virgin River when the police tried to catch him, and they said, why didn't you respond to our commands? And he said, my buddy told me you can't arrest somebody who's in the river. And then boner candidate number 3, radio scum.
All right. Let's do it. This is round 1. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates which one is the worst and therefore most deserving to go forward to Boner Fight. and get that 50-50 chance of becoming Boner of the Day. If it wins here, it'll go up against the winner of Round 2. Round 2 voting happens at 8:20. Boner fight is at 9:20. 1, 2, or 3, you decide. Put the candidate that you think should win this round in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. You can call, use your voice, 877-602-9696. The producer's booth will take your vote. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Voting April 12 and vote there. Less than 300 seconds. Let's go. It's round 1.
X96 gives you a 1-hour nonstop music wingding with John Smith.
Yes. May I help you?
Carrie Jackson and Bill Allred here to see Mr. Acme?
Carrie Jackson and Bill Allred? And this is regarding...
Well, we work for Mr. Acme, and he wanted to see us today.
I see. And you work for him in which one of his businesses?
Radio. You know, we do a morning radio show at his radio station.
Oh, yes. Mr. Acme is involved with some little broadcast facility somewhere, isn't he? Let me call him. He's having his daily rub-down right now. Mr. Acme?
What the hell do you want? You know I don't like to be disturbed when Gregor is giving me my rub-down. Ouch! Damn it! I told you that my coccyx is sore, Gregor! I'm calling the doctor. Don't rub me so hard there! Jesus! Now what the hell do you want?
I'm sorry, Mr. Acme, but there are 2 radio people out here to see you. What were your names again?
Carrie and Bill. Bill?
Is that Allred and Jackson out there? God, I forgot. It's salary time again. Okay, tell them to have a seat. We're just about finished here. Damn it, Gregor! Don't push so hard on that! Oh, I'm sore everywhere that my belt rubs.
Have a seat, gentlemen. Mr. Acme will be right with you.
Oh, great. Acme's got some sore muscles, and we're here to talk about raises. What great timing.
Oh, he's always in a bad mood or sore or something anyway. I don't see where one day is any better than another when it comes to talking about money. For hell's sakes, Gary. I mean, last year during our job evaluation meeting, he jumped across the restaurant table and jabbed the dinner fork into my upper thigh. I bled like a pig.
I remember. He must have stuck that thing in about 3 inches.
Yeah, thanks for closing me up. I don't know if I've ever told you enough how grateful I was.
Oh, don't worry about it. It was nothing. I was just glad I had that little staple gun in my backpack.
I'm nervous. I mean, I'm just not very good at this asking for a raise thing.
Remember, we got to be tough. We got to stand our ground. I mean, sure, we're asking for a lot, but we work hard at the radio station. I don't think that 15 every 2 weeks is too much to ask.
But Carrie, 15 every 2 weeks adds up to $30 a month. I'm telling you, it's too much. He'll never go for it.
I think you're right. We got to get out of here. Oh, okay. Here's what we do.
What?
I'll pretend that I'm sick, and then you pretend to rush me to the hospital, okay?
Okay.
Ma'am, will you tell Mr. Acme we'll be back some other time? I've got to rush my partner to the hospital. I think it's his ovaries or something. His uvula or something. You're going to be okay.
right, 7:46. Time to award round 1 of your boner voting.
Go! And round 1 of the boner voting is brought to you in part by, I forget what it's called. Well, I'll go with, the first thing I'll go with is homemade mango chutney. Okay.
And Haster Games Magic Dominaria Open House this Saturday, April 14th from noon to 6. Come get a promo card just for coming and a free deck to keep and play with. Stick around and learn how to play Haster Games at 6831 South State and online at hastergames.com.
You remember boner candidate number 1, don't you?
Sure.
It was called a raise? I don't think so. Sir, a KFC employee, just a kitchen employee, a counter employee, whatever he was, throwing a tantrum in the office, demanding that his coworkers and his employer call him sir. He was applying for unemployment insurance, and a judge said, no, I don't think we'll award that to you, sir. Boner candidate number 2, you can't arrest someone who's in the river. That's what a guy in St. George, wading in the Virgin River, trying to elude police because he had stolen a golf cart. And the police confront him. He's in the river. Finally, they get him out of there. They said, why didn't you just respond to our commands to come out? And he says, well, my buddy told me you can't arrest somebody who's in the river.
This is my favorite candidate. I hope that one.
And boner candidate number 3, radio scum. Guy in San Diego. Didn't even get to start his radio show.
Well, the station, the format didn't even get to start.
Oh, that's right.
It was going to be a new station called The Machine.
Yeah.
Talk That Rocks.
Yeah.
Is what it was going to be called. And he was going to be their morning guy.
Yeah, and they're changing everything.
And they're changing it to a sports station now.
Yeah.
He ruined it that badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. By doing a very insensitive tweet, jump to a new morning show, and then he posted a picture of the Coronado Bridge along with that. That's like 600, 400 people have jumped off that bridge.
And that had to go through other people.
Well, it might have been his personal Twitter.
It was just him, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was his personal Twitter account. Let's see. Jane won the boner T-shirt. Congratulations, Jane. And the winner, was boner candidate number 2. You can't arrest someone who's in the river.
Yay.
That was the winner of round 1.
That's what Wad told me.
Round 2 coming up at 8:20. We'll get a winner there. And then we'll take those 2 winners and throw them in the Boner Dome for a boner fight at 9:20 to decide who is boner of the day. Is this sponsored?
Yes, Dr. Volt's Comic Connection. They have everything you're looking for, whether it's a comic, anime, cards, games, or even action figures. Dr. Volt's has it.
Look who's just rushed into the studio. It's Sean Means from the Salt Lake Tribune. Sean does all kinds of reporting for the Tribune, particularly on new media and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you can read all of that stuff. What did I say? I saw an article of yours this morning or yesterday that I really liked, and it's not in my brain right now. What was the latest thing you did?
Well,
I know it was about Mayo Chup.
I just tweeted about Mayo Chup.
Oh, did you? That's where I saw it.
Yes.
Sean
but tweets count these days, I think.
I think they do.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yes. Cost you your job.
So they can.
Change your radio station's format.
Yeah.
So.
Be careful out there, kids. And Sean then also reviews movies, and he comes here and tells us about them. We post the links to them online, and you can read Sean's reviews also if you follow the links at x96.com.
We'll do the fartsies coming up, including Rampage and Truth or Dare. But first, let's start with the artsies.
Okay.
And where do we begin?
We start with Finding Your Feet.
Finding Your Feet.
There they are.
If you like middle-aged and older British people, this is your movie.
I like Joanna Lumley.
I like Jo. She's okay in here supporting. You start out with Imelda Staunton, who everybody knows is Dolores Umbridge, but which I'm sure is mildly insulting to her because she's like this great major actress.
Wasn't she in that movie about the finding out about her the Catholic nuns and trying to find her?
No, that was Judi Dench.
No, well, okay.
Philomena.
Oh yeah, it was.
Philomena. Yeah, that was Judi Dench.
Yeah,
happens all the time, I'm sure, for her. That's the other insult.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Vera Drake, where she played like the kindly neighborhood abortionist.
Yeah,
in the 50s. And most recently, she was doing Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf on in London and on Broadway with Lord Varys as her husband.
Yeah. That's right.
From Game of Thrones. Anyhow, in this one, she is a well-to-do woman whose husband is retiring from the police force after 30-some years and is getting his knighthood, and she's just looking forward to being, Lady Abbott and whatever. And then finds out that he's been having an affair with her best friend for the last 5 years.
Okay.
So she leaves him to go live with her sister, who she hasn't seen in a long time, who lives in a council flat, a.k.a. the Projects, played by Celia Imrie, who's also one of these British actresses you would see a lot if you see these kind of movies. She was in Best Exotic Marigold Hotel and stuff. And she's the sister is bohemian and what free spirited and all this, and so has to show the stodgy stuck up sister how to live a better, more fun life.
All right.
So it's one of those kind of movies.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 stars.
If you take a thermos of tea.
Well, it's one of the things where having a twinge in your back is the new coughing into a handkerchief.
Yay!
Okay.
I know what you mean.
All right.
Yep. You know in the old movies where if someone coughs into a handkerchief, that means
and there's a little spotting of blood
within the next half hour they're going to be dying of consumption. Yeah.
Little spotting of blood.
This is the modern version. I got this twinge.
Now I'm worried about Dylan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. So we 2 stars for that.
Yeah.
What's next?
Borg versus McEnroe.
Yes.
This is an odd movie. It's actually a Swedish-Danish movie about the rivalry between Bjorn Borg and John McEnroe, highlighted in the 1980 Wimbledon tournament, where Borg was going for his 5th in a row, making history, and McEnroe was the young upstart coming up, trying to get his first.
This is not a documentary.
This is not a documentary. It's a reenactment.
So who plays who?
There's a Swedish actor named, I can't pronounce it, Sverre Gudnason.
That's good enough.
plays Borg. McEnroe, interestingly enough, is played by Shia LaBeouf.
I can see that.
He apparently got a hold of the script and lobbied heavily. He's like, I have to do this.
Because he's a jerk naturally. So
well, and here's the thing. Like McEnroe, yes, Shia LaBeouf in real life you would not want to be around because he's a pain in the butt and all that. But he is brilliant at what he does.
Yes, he is.
Like McEnroe. And in this is probably one of the best performances Shia LaBeouf's ever had.
Really?
Given. And he really does inhabit the whole idea, not just of the outward, you can't be serious, kind of shouting at the officials kind of thing, but the inner drive below that to be the greatest player you can be. And the fascinating thing in the movie is that Borg was always seen as the robot, as the never showed emotion, and all
cool,
this very cool, and so the contrast between the two. But in real life, they were really more of the same, because Borg, as a young player, before he got a good coach, and this one played by Stellan Skarsgård, was the hothead who learned how to keep it in.
Okay.
And really, they are kind of the same, and that's fascinating to watch. So
how many stars?
3 stars.
3 stars. All right. One more then.
Okay, Foxtrot.
Foxtrot.
This is an Israeli film, very acclaimed. It was actually Israel's Oscar entry, to the chagrin of the culture minister in the Netanyahu government, who hated it and has said so loudly at every opportunity. You have a family in Tel Aviv, middle-aged parents, who get the word that their son has been killed while on military service. Military service is mandatory in Israel. Everybody's got to do their 2 years, so it's them dealing with the grief and all the stages of grief where they find this out, and then they find out something else. Then the movie cuts away to the son out in the sticks on his military service, and the tone shifts so radically from deep despair to absurdist, almost comedy. And those are both attitudes that are very common in movies about war and about military. Having them in the same movie is very jarring, but ultimately very fascinating. And that this movie can shift from essentially being coming home to being MASH.
Well, okay.
In the same film is extraordinary, and it's really well done. Really worth seeing. So 3.5.
3.5 for Foxtrot. All right. Well, we'll get to Rampage and Truth or Dare and Beirut right after these. Gina, do you have traffic at all?
Yeah. The weather started up, and There's the trouble that we thought would be happening.
The troubles are here.
Crash northbound I-15, milepost 285 in Lehigh. Crash southbound I-15 at milepost 339, that's Riverdale Road up in Weber County. Crash westbound 24th Street, Harrison Boulevard in Ogden off to the right shoulder. Crash eastbound SR 201, 6200 west. Crash northbound Mountain View Corridor at 5400 south in West Valley. And pretty slow going just I-15 northbound through the Draper Sandy area. That's traffic.
All right, thank you very much. We'll be back with the rest of the movie reviews from Sean Means after these.
It's the Downrange Podcast.
Yeah, hi, I'm John Smith, and I host the weekly podcast called Downrange, which is a weekly podcast about guns and gear.
Bill and Gina on X96.
All right, we continue.
Sean Means here reviewing movies for us, and I just looked at it, as a matter of fact. If you go to the front page, x96.com, right at the top of the stack for the moment, Sean's reviews, a link to them.
Brought to you by Haster Games Magic Dominaria Open House this Saturday, April 14th from noon to 6. Come get a promo card just for coming, a free deck to keep and play with. Stick around and learn how to play. Haster Games, 6831 South State, and online at hastergames.com.
Where do we go to now?
Well, first in the fartsies, there's one that did not get screened called Sergeant Stubby, an American Hero.
Sergeant Stubby.
Yes, it is. This is a cartoon. This is an animated thing about a stray dog that is adopted by a soldier training for World War I, who went on to become the most decorated dog in American history.
Okay.
So,
all right,
yeah, not screened. Then we will move on to different animals. Rampage.
Based on the classic video game.
Based on the classic video game, which has a cameo in the back of somebody's office in this movie.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Good.
it does.
I have to say, just the previews for this movie, it looks really, 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 really stupid.
Yeah, but The Rock's in it, Bill.
He looks really stupid.
I was
going
to say that doesn't preclude the stupid thing. Yes, we have The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, as a primatologist.
It could happen.
Well, for me it's like, you know, Elvis being a race car driver. You know, it's just,
yeah, you know. You could make a lot of comparisons there.
Or a clinic doctor in the ghetto, or
a circus roundabout.
Right. This time he's a primatologist who in San Diego Zoo, and he does sign language with the main albino gorilla in his best friend George. And nobody made a George of the Jungle joke even once.
Really?
I mean, missed opportunities left in this movie.
Come on, writers.
There were 4 of them. 4 writers. None of them came up with that joke. And so one night a canister from outer space, and it
a canister from outer space
because there was experiments on the International Space Station, and when the space station blew up, the canisters came to Earth.
Okay, all right.
That's the prologue.
Sure.
Marley Shelton doing sort of the Roger Corman version of Gravity. In the prologue.
All right.
So anyway, so canister comes, sprays George with some green whatever, and suddenly he's growing and getting angrier.
Oh.
He's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. He's getting madder and madder and madder.
He's got anger management problems.
Yep. So he escapes the zoo, and it turns out there's some evil pharma people who are developing this pathogen to change animal DNA, and when they find out that their stuff is, you know, gotten loose and done some stuff to some animals, they of course are planning to figure out a way to bring the animals to Chicago. Why not? And
they know there are good restaurants there,
and harvest the DNA to study and make money out of.
Right.
The fact that, like, you have the gorilla and a 30-foot wolf and a giant alligator, all making a beeline for Chicago, you know, destroying things en route.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. This is an extraordinarily dumb movie.
So
and not fun dumb either.
And so I was right. It
Yes.
looks stupid.
It is very stupid, and the tone shifts are ridiculously bad. I mean, you have The Rock doing sort of action hero-y sort of thing, one-liners and so on. But then you have destruction that looks like 9/11. Chicago does not come out well in this movie.
All right.
And Jeffrey Dean Morgan as a Fed who thinks he's doing Tommy Lee Jones or something, and
All right.
he chews up more scenery than the wolf. I mean,
course.
that's 1.5 stars.
1.5 stars.
Good. I don't have to see it. Moving on.
All right.
Truth or Dare.
This is a scary movie.
This is a scary movie. It's Friday the 13th tomorrow, so you got to have a scary movie. It's a law. It's a law. Here you have a bunch of college friends go to spring break in Mexico.
Of course.
Meet a guy who says, "Hey, I got this cool thing you can try," and he takes him to an old abandoned church, and they start playing a game of Truth or Dare.
Well, that's never going to turn out well.
That's never going to turn out well. And it turns out that the game itself is possessed by evil, whatever.
See?
And if they don't, and once they get back home, if they don't keep the game going, they will die.
As I said about Rampage, this sounds really, really, really stupid.
It's really stupid, and it's not very scary.
Okay.
And not just because it's like PG-13 level horror, because I mean, Quiet Place was PG-13, and Quiet Place was brilliant and scary and everything else. This is just dumb, talky college kids yelling at each other, and
it's like a slice of life.
And occasionally one of them drops dead for some reason.
Well,
sounds great.
In a messy but not quite messy enough to be cool way.
Yeah. So go see Quiet Place.
Go
if you
see
wanna
Quiet
see a
Place again.
Scary movie.
If you haven't seen it already, go see it again.
Or watch Final Destination movies. It's
Yes.
the same thing.
Pretty much the same idea.
Yeah.
So 2 stars for Truth.
2 stars for Truth or Dare.
Okay.
All right. Beirut.
Beirut. This was actually at Sundance. And it's a weird combination of an indie director and a very Hollywoody sort of screenwriter. Because Brad Anderson is a director who did like The Machinist and Session 9. He's very sort of indie oriented. And then Tony Gilroy's the screenwriter, and he did like Bourne movies and Rogue One. So we have John Hamm as a faded ex-diplomat negotiator. Living in the circa 1982, semi-alcoholic because, as we see in the prologue, 10 years earlier, his wife was killed in Beirut during an operation, during an attempt to arrest a terrorist in the embassy. So 1982, he's summoned back to Beirut because somebody he knows has been kidnapped by terrorists, and the terrorists want him and by name.
Oh,
and so that's
not good.
Yeah, so he gets dragged back to Beirut where he's got to deal with NSA guys and CIA guys and the ambassador and all this, all this intrigue in this place that is, Lebanon in the 80s was sort of falling apart. You had Arab, you had Muslims and Christians, you had the Israelis just outside wanting to invade, all sort of stuff happening, and he's sort of trying to thread through all this in the middle to free his friend.
Okay.
John Hamm is a good actor. People forget this.
Yeah, I don't forget. I don't forget any of the good things about John.
No. People forget this because they see how handsome he is and all that. They forget. Oh yeah, he's actually really good.
Oh, I'd forgotten that.
Yeah. See, because
I
you're
forgot.
You're swayed by the good-looking part.
I like the sound of his voice.
Yeah. I know Mercedes commercials are the greatest, aren't they? Yeah. He's really great, sort of holding this all together with all these different elements. Plus, you've got this great ensemble: Rosamund Pike, Dean Norris, and Shea Wiggum, who is this character guy who you've seen in a billion things and is always good, and then you forget about him immediately after because he blends in so well to what's going on.
Who's that again? I forgot.
He was Agent Carter's boss on the first season of Agent Carter.
Okay.
For geeks, that'll be a reference.
Yes.
Anyway, cool political thriller, geopolitical sort of thing. 3 stars.
3 stars for Beirut.
Will people go to that movie?
I don't know. If I knew that, I'd be working in movie marketing and making a ton more money than I do as a journalist.
There you go.
You have a feeling.
Well, let's run these down then. Finding Your Feet, 2 stars. Borg versus McEnroe, 3 stars. Foxtrot, 3.5 stars. Sergeant Stubby, tragically not screened.
Yep.
Rampage, 1.5 stars. 2 stars for Truth or Dare. And Beirut, 3 stars. What do we got next week?
Next week, we got the last stop before Avengers.
Yes.
So we have Amy Schumer in I Feel Pretty.
Okay.
Comedy. We have Super Troopers 2.
Oh.
Is the other one.
That's
which
long time coming.
Well, it is April 20th.
Yeah.
It is 4/20.
4/20.
So.
And it was a Kickstarter. Is how they made this movie.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Did that say something that a cult movie like Super Troopers?
I think that would have been a no-brainer to
That a
get
movie,
that
a
made.
movie company.
Why wouldn't it have?
Wouldn't put the
Yeah.
money up.
Well, because
Yeah.
they're very risk averse.
I guess so.
It's because they don't want to work with a bunch of stoners.
Or that.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Read Sean's reviews. You just go to x96.com and you'll see a link to where you can read all of those and watch for him, read him. Salt Lake Tribune, that's sltrib.com.
Crash westbound SR 201. It's west of SR 202. Left lane is closed there. Crash northbound I-15 milepost 285 in Lehigh. Crash southbound I-15 Riverdale Road off to the left shoulder. And crash eastbound SR 201 at 62nd West. Very slow going northbound I-15 through the Draper Sandy area coming into downtown Salt Lake. Performance Autoplex, massive selection of used between 3 stores in Bountiful. Every used car is certified. That's how a smile starts. Performance Autoplex in Bountiful.
All right.
So we got boner candidate number 1 coming up here in round 2, which is, well, what else did you expect me to do? Boner candidate number 2, I did it for Taylor. And boner candidate number 3, so 10 lawmakers voted for bestiality.
I'm glad you found that one. All right, that's all coming up round 2 of your boner voting along with Big Boy News after these.
Hi.
No, it
So
didn't.
no, it didn't.
No.
But it forced you to think about me yesterday, even when you didn't want to. I entered your consciousness.
You know, you do anyway because you retweet and things so much, and I'm going to have to block your notifications because 90% of the time when my phone goes bing, and that means somebody that I know has either retweeted or made a comment or something. It's 90%. I'm going to turn the notifications for you off because it's you 90% of the time.
Something I thought you would enjoy.
You said no, but here's what it is. You are an over retweeter. You retweet and retweet and retweet.
If I think somebody would enjoy something, I retweet it. You're welcome.
So yesterday, for example, she 4 times.
Yeah, like the Utah Jazz winning the playoff game. Like nobody would know that if you didn't retweet it. It's not necessary. So that's
you tweet the way you tweet, which is not enough, and I will tweet.
You
the
know
way
what?
I tweet.
I tweet a lot. I just make sure that almost none of it's directed toward you.
You don't tweet a lot.
I do too.
Bill, for example, 2 times yesterday. 1 for himself and 1 retweet.
Yeah, I tweet plenty. Listen. I'll go through your tweets if you want. You want to see how many things you do.
On Thursday, he did 5 retweets.
Well,
Yeah.
here she
tweet
is,
about
letting
twice as much
everybody
as
know who won the Real Salt Lake game because that's the only way anybody could find out.
That's not the only reason to tweet something. Perhaps I am happy they won, and
You
I am
retweeted it.
tweeting my support.
You're retweeting it to everybody who already knows.
Not necessarily.
2 of your boner voting. I'm going to give you 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide with your vote who of these 3 is the worst. Which one of these candidates deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it's just a contender, so pick a good one. It'll go up against the winner of round 1's voting. We'll throw them both into the Boner Dome for Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when Boner of the Day is decided. So pick your contender now for round 2. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive...
Next time you're at the liquor store and you see Bill Allred.
Yeah.
Just walk up and say, I was a random boner voter, and you will receive a hearty handshake.
Are you suggesting that that's the place that people are most likely to see me?
Yes.
You don't know my habits. I'm out. I got to go to the liquor store today. But just remember, if you stick it out, I'll shake it. Okay? All right, here's boner candidate number 1. What else did you expect me to do? A Springfield man says he was stabbed in the stomach by a stranger who asked to pet his dog. The local paper reports that 28-year-old told police he was on his front lawn with his dog Wednesday morning when a stranger approached. He told police that when he denied the stranger's request to pet his dog, the man came up toward him anyway, and then the man said he pushed the stranger away to shield his dog, and he was stabbed in the stomach in the process. Whoa. And then the stranger ran away. The victim taken to the hospital for treatment of his injuries. Springfield Police Detective Dave Lewis said police used a police dog to search for the suspect, but they were unable to find him. So, wouldn't let the guy pet his dog, and so the guy stabbed him in the stomach. What else did you expect me to do? I think it was a
perfect, reasonable.
He clearly had
Come on.
no other choice. Yeah.
Right. Come on. Let me pet the
What
dog.
kind of dog was it?
It was a dog.
It
was the kind with 4 legs and a tail, ma'am.
I would like I'm trying to picture it, that's all.
A story like this, Gina, why don't you use your creativity and just create a dog, your own dog.
If it was a very fluffy
Gina, it was
dog.
a collie. It was a collie.
A collie. So you don't see a collie very often.
That was boner candidate number 1. Boner candidate number 2. I did it for Taylor. Connecticut police, Ansonia, Connecticut, to be precise, arrested a man who they say robbed a bank, drove to Taylor Swift's home, and threw the money over the fence. What? Police said 26-year-old Bruce Rowley is accused of robbing the Webster Bank in Ansonia. According to police, Rowley then said he had a crush on Taylor Swift and he wanted to impress her. So he robbed the bank, and then he drove to Taylor Swift's Rhode Island home, which is not that far, and threw some of the money that he had stolen over her fence.
Just trying to think this through as he is.
Yeah. Try.
Taylor has a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So you throwing a little bit of money over a fence, I don't know how that's going to...
See, Gina, I thought you were going to ask what kind of fence it was.
Oh. Electric fence. Chain link.
Yep. I did it for you, Taylor. Boner candidate number 2. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. So, 10 lawmakers essentially voted for bestiality.
Oh, yes. Candidate number 3 for round 2. Coming up after this, big boy news and opinioendo, brought to you by
The Melting Pot, perfect for a quick bite after work or before a night downtown. You're going out tonight, Bill. You should go to the Melting Pot before you go out tonight. It's right across the street there.
Champion cheese.
Locally owned and operated at the corner of Market and Main Street. Reservations at meltingpot.com.
You are not safe anywhere. Like this Illinois woman. She's suing an Italian restaurant, claiming that an order of lasagna exploded when they brought it to the table.
Oh.
Left her with mental anguish, and when it exploded with piping hot marinara sauce that burned her as she dug into it. Exploding lasagna, ladies and gentlemen.
It's dangerous.
Teresa Thomas has filed a suit in Cook County Circuit Court seeking $50,000 from Osteria Ottimo Ristorante in the suburb of Oakland Park. The alleged marinara blow-up happened when Thomas and her husband were having lunch at the restaurant. Thomas placed her left hand in her lap, as a proper person does at a meal.
Sure.
Picked up her fork with her right hand.
Sure.
And touched the tower of layered lasagna, meat, cheese, and marinara sauce with a fork. And upon contact with the fork, and without warning. Now, if there had been some sort of a ticking sound, perhaps.
Or if the lasagna could have looked up and said, "Oh, by the way,
be careful.
I'm
gonna blow."
I'm feeling bloated right now."
Piping hot marinara sauce shot from the lasagna and onto Teresa's left hand, the hand in her lap, scalding the skin and causing a large burn. It also sprayed into her face and caused her burns. She has suffered great physical pain and mental anguish. She is suing the restaurant for $50,000. Perfectly legitimate, I would say. Of course, House Speaker Paul Ryan has said he's not going to seek re-election, being one of the many cowards in the House of Representatives.
You're not going to stand up and say Donald Trump's crazy and he's not part of our party.
Yeah,
you're not going to do that.
He's a coward. He's just going to leave, not say that. And he's gone from being a fairly reasonable guy in a lot of respects when you talk to him, to being a mealy-mouthed wimp who does whatever Donald Trump wants, really.
Yep.
And he is not alone. 46 people are leaving the House of Representatives.
46 Republicans.
Yeah, 46 Republicans. It is going to be really tough. And there are predictions that, and they may come true, that we've been talking about this blue wave of Democrats that are going to come in this midterm election. And generally, the party that's on the outs of the midterms does well. That's just always been the case. You know, if it's the...
Throw the bums out.
Yeah, throw the bums out, put in the new bums. And so there have been predictions that this is going to happen. And now it's looking even more like the Democrats could control the Senate and the House of Representatives, which would be a huge change and which would signal to me that the Republican Party is in a shambles, and if they don't get their act in gear, they may not exist at all.
Well, they need to do like what happened with Nixon. The Republican Party led the impeachment process with Nixon.
Look,
They said,
he's not our guy.
He's not our guy. And so that's why you need these Republicans to stand up to do that. They need to do it with Trump and say, no, you can't do these things.
It had forced Nixon to resign because he knew if he didn't, he would be impeached.
He would be impeached.
And it would not have happened if the Republicans, his own party, had not said, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But these guys are all cowards, and they won't do it.
They'd rather quit than get beat because it's all about winning. It's that alpha male thing, you know.
Bill to legalize marijuana here in Utah and set up a state-run dispensary for terminally ill patients has easily passed, and it looks like then Governor Herbert has signed it into law now, and it will go into effect. And I don't know when they're actually going to start doing it.
The testing?
No, well, they're going to just do it. I mean, they're going to set up a dispensary, and then doctors will be able to prescribe for patients that are terminally ill marijuana.
But I'm not interested in having Dr. Feelgood out there say, que pasa, here's your doobie for the day, and you'll feel better.
That's our governor. And after polling their rank and file, legislative leaders said Wednesday that they have enough support to call themselves into session. That is the Utah State Legislature. Generally, it's the governor who will call a special session, but there is a provision that if you get enough votes among your members, you can call yourself into special session to override a veto, extending a year-long turf war with Governor Herbert over whether he's grabbing too much control. Now, in that yet-to-be-scheduled session, legislators want to overturn 2 Herbert votes that he says encroach too far into the dominion of the executive branch.
Herbert.
He says, and I have the tendency to agree with him, there's one which allows lawmakers to intervene in court to defend laws they pass. So pay no attention to the Attorney General and just go to, the legislature can intervene and go. And then Herbert says that would create too much problems and chaos in the legislature.
Yes.
And then he also want to he vetoed a bill that would force the Attorney General to provide the legislature with legal opinions when requested, as already allowed by law, but Herbert blocked one such opinion last year. And so anyway, they're trying to get more control, and I don't think they should have it. I think so, but they may override it. We'll see. Let's see. Donald Trump says,
I don't care.
Thursday, today, that an attack on Syria, you better care, that an attack on Syria could take place, quote, very soon or not so soon at all.
See, I didn't tell you when.
Arguing he had never signaled the timing of retaliation for a suspected chemical weapons attack that he had suggested was imminent a day earlier. Todd Weiler
on the way.
Todd Weiler just tweeted, by the way, that the special session they've actually voted and they're going to have it.
Oh, they are going to
next Wednesday.
It is happening.
Yeah, next Wednesday. The president made his latest statement in a tweet Thursday morning. Trump tweeted on Wednesday he had warned Russia to get ready for a missile attack on Syria. He did.
That sounds soon.
But
when
now
you say
on Thursday
get
he
ready.
said, "I never said an attack on Syria would take place," even though he said, "Get ready, we're gonna send missiles, smart missiles." I never said that. I never said that.
I told him to get ready. I didn't say when.
Get ready for 10 years from now.
By the way, the Russians are saying they're being sort of the calm ones here and saying, now hang on, everybody, hang on. Let's not get too out of hand here. We don't want to kick, because the last thing that they want to have happen is Israel to get involved here.
No.
And so there was an attack on a base in Syria last week, and nobody ever said exactly who did it, but it was Israel. I mean, everybody knew it was Israel, but nobody had the guts to stand up and say, "Hey, Israel, what did you do that for?" They just said, "Well, yeah, there was an attack.
Somebody.
There was an attack by somebody." So the Russians are now sort of being the calm ones and the reasonable ones here for a few minutes in all of this mess that's going on.
Wrong.
Salt Lake City is proposing an ordinance, the Salt Lake City Council considering an ordinance that would prohibit short-term rentals.
What's a short-term rental?
Vacation rentals.
Oh, like Airbnb?
Airbnb and VRBO.
Why would they do that?
Because there are people who have commercial rental properties that they say it's unfair competition. And motels and hotels say it's unfair.
That is so anti-business.
And in addition to that, it makes it so that there is less housing available for people who want to, say, rent a home. So if they're doing it monthly,
you can make more money Airbnb than just putting up a...
Right.
So but that's my business.
Yeah.
Now, Derek Kitchen, Councilman Derek Kitchen said the proposed regulations were not designed to eliminate vacation rentals. They were designed to increase long-term rental housing during a time when there is a big housing shortage. What we're trying to do here is figure out a creative way to add additional housing to the market. Kitchen said the current rules allow accessory dwelling units within a half mile of transit lines. It gets wonky here. But yeah, so... Now, Kitchen has used Airbnb and VRBO to rent homes during his travels, and he thinks vacation rentals have value and they deserve a separate discussion. So he's not saying we're not really trying to ban them, but it looks like they're trying to restrict them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm never going to rent one here anyway, so I don't care.
One other quick entry here. Ever try an Oreo cookie with a pickle slice on top?
No. What?
It might sound like the stuff of pregnancy cravings, but it is a sour, sweet, creamy, and crunchy treat that satisfies all regions of your taste buds. People are taking Oreo cookies and putting pickles on top of them, and it's the tart snap of the pickle balancing the sweetness of an Oreo, and it is incredible. And it makes this often dry cookie, because you like to dip them in milk,
right?
Because they are kind of dry.
They are.
It makes them juicy and makes them not seem dry. I'm going to try it.
All right.
Just take a pickle slice.
Dylan, there's your next food assignment from our snacking desk.
I don't think he's going to do that. Or you want him to bring it in for us to try?
Bring it in for us to try.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he'd try that.
Sure he would.
You think he'd eat a pickle on an Oreo?
Yeah, I think he would.
He might.
I don't think he's a wuss like you.
He's saying no.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even try it?
Dylan eats
You're
just
not
like
my
me.
son. You are not my son.
Dylan and I eat the same.
It's true. Oh, now he's thumbs up that he's not your son. Oh, my.
No relation.
Oh, my.
You're not my son. That's great.
I'd try that, sure.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. All right, that's it.
Sports weather traffic.
I don't want to talk about local sports because everybody lost last night. Jazz lost to Portland, and the Real had a terrible game in New York. So let's all just look forward to the Royals opening game on Saturday, 1:30. Tickets are probably going to sell out for that. So if you really want to go to the opening night game with the concert and all the festivities, you should go to rsl.com and get those today. I believe they have standing room tickets, which is a fun way to watch it anyway. You're too excited to sit down. So.
Exactly.
Weather, it's here. The water, there it is.
Yep.
And it will change to snow at some point today. And we've already had our high for the day, which was in the mid-40s.
I say it probably won't stick to the roads much because it's
too warm.
They're warm.
Yeah.
They've been warmed enough to.
It's really coming down downtown here.
But it's we'll have that all day into tomorrow. So
all right.
Traffic. Let's see how the weather's affecting that. Crash southbound I-15 at milepost 343 in Ogden. They're getting hit particularly hard up in the Davis-Weber County area. We've got crash southbound I-15 at about 53rd South. Crash northbound I-15. Oh, this is in Honeyville, Box Elder, milepost 372 there. Crash westbound SR 201, milepost 2. The left lane is closed there. Crash northbound I-15, milepost 285 in Lehigh. And it looks very slow going northbound I-15 just after Point of the Mountain all the way through Draper and Sandy. If you're heading into downtown from that direction, it's slow. And southbound through Davis County coming into North Salt Lake. So weather affecting traffic both directions.
It's snowing in West Jordan.
There you go.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. So let me get this straight. So 10 lawmakers essentially voted for bestiality.
Yeah.
This is in Louisiana. The state Senate has approved a bill designed to make it clear that bestiality is illegal in Louisiana. A law on the books prohibits crimes against nature, but it also outlaws so-called sodomy and was ruled unconstitutional in 2003. New Orleans Senator J.P. Morrill says it's important that the state has a way to arrest somebody for having a sex with an animal. He told fellow lawmakers, "Now, God forbid you vote against this bill. Good luck explaining that." 10 senators did vote against it.
Does the story contain their reasoning for voting against it?
No.
Other than it's a free country? Or
I will speculate. The measure does also specify that previously illegal forms of sodomy are no longer against the law.
That don't have anything to do with animals.
Right. Anal sexual intercourse between two human beings shall not be deemed as a crime, part of the bill states. That's why they voted against it.
Because they're afraid of
because I don't want, now I'm not saying I don't want to have people have sex with animals, but I don't want the gays having the anal intercourse.
Because that affects you how?
In
what way does that affect your life at all?
Ma'am.
What?
Ma'am.
Yes?
You don't understand males. We are afraid of homosexual attack.
But just like walking down the street.
I was years ago, I think it was Lampoon, National Lampoon, had an ad, and it was for a machine, and it said, "Protect yourself from nocturnal homosexual attack." And it was a machine that had tubes coming off of it and suction cups or something on the end, to which you could cover up all of the open orifices of your body.
Just in case.
Just in case.
While you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Somebody breaks into your house and...
Yeah, I think if you Google... Well, don't.
I don't want to
I'll try. I'm going to find the ad. I think if you Googled Lampoon nocturnal homosexual attack ad. So that's boner candidate number 3. So 10 senators essentially voted for bestiality.
All right.
All right.
Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. Well, what else did you expect me to do? Wouldn't let me pet his dog? That's why I stabbed him in the stomach. You know? Come on. Boner candidate number 2. I did it for you, Taylor. It's a man who robbed a bank to impress Taylor Swift. She has a home in Rhode Island. This guy robbed a bank and then drove to her home and threw some of the money over the fence. He wanted to impress her. And boner candidate number 3. So 10 lawmakers essentially voted for bestiality.
All right. You've got to decide which one of these 3 is the worst. Which one of these 3 candidates deserves to get that 50-50 chance of becoming Boner of the Day. If it wins here, it goes up against the winner of round 1. That'll all be decided in Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when Boner of the Day is decided. So pick a contender, 1, 2, or 3. Put that candidate number in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. And call 877-602-9696. Katie will take your votes in the producer's booth. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Voting April 12. This is round 2.
Stay tuned for a 1-hour nonstop music wingding right after Radio from Hell on X96.
So Richie, he says, I go out in the hall to grab something on my desk. You okay? Yeah, why? Well, you're a little bit quiet today. Oh, well, no. Okay. So I come back in here, and he comes and he grabs me and puts his arms around me and says, "No, really, are you okay?"
You were acting peculiar.
And you know what? I was just fine until that happened. And then I'm kind of going,
you're not fine?
Well, I'm going, geez, maybe I do feel like crap. I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't thought about how I felt at all. And now that you mentioned it to me twice, you're right. I feel like crap today.
Well, so he was just in tune with that. You weren't aware that you felt like crap.
I would have been fine. I would have done what I do with most of my emotions and shoved them way down into the back somewhere. And rather than have them flowing out like this, so where they don't belong.
So you aren't feeling okay.
Shut up!
You okay, Bill?
I'm fine!
You okay, Bill?
Yes!
You okay, Bill?
I'm okay!
Sorry, Bill.
That's all right, I'm fine.
Hi, you small, green, and gruesome.
I'm really okay.
Bill and me, we had a misunderstanding last night.
Yes, we did. But I'm fine.
Bill!
What?
You okay, Bill?
Yes. Great.
Have you seen Bill? Unfortunately, yes. Bill. Bill.
Yes. What? Unfortunately, yes.
It's 8:45. And it's time to award round 2 of your boner voting.
And round 2 is brought to you by...
In part
by... Oh, the dish whose name I forgot. It's I made it, but I can't... It's Indian. It's chickpeas and tomatoes and spices.
I don't eat things that I don't know what they're called.
Well, I know what it's called. I just forgot. But, you know, it was good. I liked it. And we had naan, too.
I like naan.
You can always go with naan. You know, if you cook a lot of Indian food in your house, though, if you have a repeated... Your house is always going to smell like Indian food. Those spices
And then
are,
you smell like Indian food when you leave your house.
Yeah, those spices are strong.
I like that, though.
And Bad Apple offers premium original equipment, parts to repair your phone, while most competitors use cheaper aftermarket parts that don't work properly. 10 locations. Go to badapplerepair.com.
So, boner candidate number 1. Well, what else did you expect me to do? It's a guy who is going to pet your dog? No. I don't want you to pet my dog.
Get away from my dog.
So I stabbed him in the stomach because he wouldn't let me pet his dog. There's boner candidate number 2. I did it for you, Taylor. It's a guy who robbed a bank and then drove to Taylor Swift's home and threw some of the money over the fence because he wanted to impress her. And boner candidate number 3. So 10 lawmakers voted for bestiality, essentially. Louisiana law to ban sex with animals. It won the Senate vote 25-10, but the leader of the Senate in Louisiana said, if you don't vote for this, I really would like you to explain why. Well, 10 people did not vote for it. And I haven't seen any explanation, but I suspect it's the homosexuality angle of the bill. There's a little bit in there about that. So I don't know who won at this point. I didn't know. It's not working. So if you could just come in here and tell me. Don't even say. Don't even
open the door and yell it.
Just come in here and get on the microphone and tell me.
Or they could pop it to me.
Or pop it to Carrie.
Mine's working.
Yeah. It was boner candidate number 3.
There we go.
So 10 lawmakers voted for bestiality.
All right. That is the winner of round 2. Going up against the winner of round 1 in boner fight at 9:20. It may be the boner of the day. You will decide.
Now, there were people that wondered why we didn't make Heinz a boner today.
Why? This just makes me infuriates. Well, it doesn't infuriate me.
Okay.
So Heinz has come out with this ketchup and mayonnaise mixture. Apparently, they've had it for a while in Asia.
Yeah, they've been testing it.
And it's called Mayo Chup, which I think is a stupid name. But
not in the Arab Gulf states is where they've had it.
Yeah. And it's a combination of ketchup and mayonnaise.
It's fry sauce.
Well, or not. Or not.
What do you mean or not?
Fry sauce specifically is a very certain thing in my mind that was invented at Arctic Circle restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me, Arctic Circle restaurants. Arctic Circle restaurants in I think 1954, and it was a mixture of ketchup and mayonnaise, and then there's some other stuff in there, which makes it fry sauce, and it is distinctive. I've tried other fry sauces and other combinations. Why don't you get mad at some guy's fry sauce? It's on the shelves now. Why don't you get mad at...
Because they call it fry sauce. They're calling this Mayo Chup.
So?
That's
I meant to bring it.
Name.
I meant to bring it, and I haven't opened it. I have a bottle of some kind of fry sauce thing that somebody... It is a dumb name. But everybody's going, well, what do they think? We invented it here in Utah.
No, the problem with it is the name.
Mayo Chup?
It's a dumb name.
Well, it's,
They're not mad that they're bottling this. They're mad that they're not, that they're calling it Mayo Chup.
Oh, no. I heard lots of people on you-know-where this morning being kind of jokingly offended, but offended that they're trying. Well, we invented fry sauce. What do they think they're doing? Come on. That was their angle, which really pissed me off. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
I don't really even care about the name.
I mean, Mayo Chup is an odd name.
It's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
I mean, remember there was a time when I wanted them to combine mustard and mayonnaise.
What is that called?
Mustard mayonnaise. Or no, mayo stirred.
Mayo stirred, which is much better.
They never got around to that.
Well, let's look and see what's in Mayo Chup. Is it just?
It's just mayo and.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
But see, I prefer to make my own fresh anyway.
How dare you? That's my daughter always does.
And I'll put a little squirt of sriracha in it.
Yeah, my daughter does that too. Exactly.
Hot fry sauce.
Yeah. How dare you?
Which is the what?
How dare you?
I call it fry sauce. I don't call it sriracha.
How dare you call it fry sauce? Arctic Circle invented fry sauce. They should have. I'm surprised they didn't. They should have somehow put a patent on the name, which they didn't, obviously.
Now people are saying that Mayo Chup is a bad name.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're all suggesting a better name. Ketchunaise.
Yeah. Well,
but really, the best name has already been established.
Fry sauce?
No.
Oh.
You might want to try this. I make a sauce, we call it fancy sauce.
For me.
That Brennan really likes with his chicken nuggets.
It's my fancy sauce.
Well, when Brennan finishes, I'll give you some of this, and it's ketchup and mayonnaise mixed together.
So good.
Fancy sauce.
Fancy sauce.
The movie Step Brothers.
Yeah.
I'm not done using it. It's good.
Can I have fancy sauce?
Of course. Of course.
I'm using it right now.
Okay. So let's just...
Want to try it, too?
Let's just let him try some.
Yeah, I really would like some.
Just one last spoonful.
I think you got enough there, Brennan. So here you go.
Thanks.
It's ketchup and mayonnaise.
Ugh. I don't like it. It smells weird.
I'll try some.
Fancy sauce. So clearly that's a better name.
I'm trying to find the ingredients because there's got to be more in it than ketchup and mayonnaise.
Why does there have to be more?
Well,
in it
I would be surprised if there wasn't more.
Well, now see, here's a texter. I worked at Arctic Circle for 3 years. Their fry sauce is made of ketchup, mayonnaise, and buttermilk. Yeah, so there's more to it. Best way to make fry sauce, mayonnaise, and barbecue sauce.
No,
I don't.
That's
I don't
a different
care for
thing.
That. I don't care for that.
Vinegar is a secret ingredient in fry sauce. Just a few drops.
Yeah, and so I thought they put a little dab of mustard in it too.
A secret ingredient is also for Arctic Circle is a little pickle juice.
That's the vinegar thing.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, but make your own. Try the Heinz if you want. It is a dumb name.
Well, the question is will it even get here?
I think
your vote. So what?
Because
what Heinz is doing is they want you to vote on whether you want it available in your area.
And I won't do that.
And right now the voting is even. No, we don't want it. To yes, we do. There's no clear winner yet.
Yeah.
So now I think it's interesting because they say it's already been available in the Middle East. If you go to Maza or Laziz.
They do
their own version.
They do a fry sauce, yeah.
But it's a it too is a little bit different.
They've done a little something to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I've been a couple of places that do their own, and it's always just slightly different.
Yeah.
And dipping sauces, you go and get all kinds of. Really, the way to do it is the way they do it in Belgium. The way they like their fries best is with mayonnaise. Just plain mayonnaise.
No, I need to cut it with the But when I make it, my ratio of mayo is more mayonnaise. It's just enough ketchup to make it a little pink.
And in Belgium, a lot of times you'll have the really. So the fries are great because you have to fry them in horse fat. First of all, they're twice fried in horse fat, and then they're made with real mayonnaise. And if it's real mayonnaise when it's kind of yellow.
Ketchup and ranch make a fry sauce.
No.
Someone's text in.
I think
A little hot sauce in there.
I think ranch dressing should just be banned everywhere.
No, ranch should always be an option.
No, ranch is terrible.
Here's the good thing about ranch, Bill. Because if the food you're eating is terrible, but you need to eat it, you put a little ranch on it, it makes it palatable.
Gina,
ranch should always be around.
Gina, you know what I do if the food is terrible? I have no need to eat it. I don't eat it.
But sometimes
I throw it away.
Sometimes you don't have another option.
No, you do. The option is don't eat it. That's the other option. My brother-in-law puts ranch. I'm not kidding you. We'll put ranch dressing on anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We're having ham. Any ranch dressing? Got any ranch? Anything. He will douse it in ranch
Ordinarily, I would not encourage this, but I'm going to.
What?
Pizza. Ranch dressing.
I've seen people do that.
But it's if it's not great pizza, though. If it's great pizza, you don't want to have ranch. Really.
Either way, it works.
Let's not get into Thousand Island dressing either, okay?
That's not fry sauce.
No, it's not. It's Thousand Island dressing.
And I don't like my fry sauce with relish in it.
Or not. What's the
Russian?
Russian, yeah, thank you.
Russian,
not Roquefort. Russian dressing.
Crash northbound I-215 at 7th North in Salt Lake. Crash southbound I-15 at Parish Lane in Centerville. The HOV lane blocked there. Crash southbound I-215 47th South in Salt Lake. Crash northbound I-15 33rd South. Crash eastbound I-215 at 17th East. 2 left lanes are closed there. Crash eastbound I-80 at 40th West. So unfortunately, the weather has become a problem. We've got
snowing here now.
Yeah, it is snowing downtown. So, and I know it is we were in Davis County. They seem to be getting hit a little more than we are here in Salt Lake, but that's traffic.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, we got Boner Fight coming up. Stand by for that. And we have stuff to give away?
Yeah, we got to give you a keyword for the... Actually, I should do that right now.
All right.
Okay.
Stone Temple Pilots. Okay. They're coming to town. Where's my
that wasn't on here at 8 o'clock when we were supposed to do it.
Actually, could you send me that, Richie?
We would have ignored it anyway.
We'll do it... They're X96 proud to welcome Stone Temple Pilots with Bush and the Cult to USANA Amphitheater Monday, August 20th. Tickets are on sale at SmithTix locations and SmithTix.com. I'm going to give you a keyword, and you will text it to 33986 for a chance to win tickets. The keyword is bloated, BLOATED, bloated.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll be back. KXRK Provo.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
That's how desperate I am.
At 10 a.m., right after Radio from Hell.
We're desperate.
At 1 p.m., while you're listening in the workplace.
Which is so completely wrong.
And at 4:30 for your drive home.
I didn't see any of this. I just heard it secondhand.
I had a major breakthrough with Gina this weekend when we were in L.A. I got her drunk 3 times.
He did.
And it wasn't hard, really.
It cost him a total of $10 for all 3 times.
Each time. He's a cheap drunk.
Well, see, this is a little secret. You don't take a girl to dinner and then drinks. You always take her to drinks first.
Sure.
Because she's drinking on an empty stomach.
Yes, she is.
Now, you tell me what you remember, and I'll fill in the holes.
Well, I remember...
Because there were some things that she said that she doesn't remember.
I think you're making stuff up to make me think I was drunker than you think I am.
I'm not making anything up. I don't need to.
To make you thinker than I drunk I am.
Yeah.
So the first night we were there, Bill was with his family doing family stuff. So Carrie...
Every night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Carrie was babysitting me.
Because Gina has to have somebody babysit.
Because I was all alone.
Usually it's both of us, Carrie and I. And when it's Carrie and it's me babysitting Gina, it's like those old cartoons with the little devil on one shoulder and the good angel on the other shoulder. Carrie, of course, being the little devil.
Carrie's been trying to get me drunk for years.
Well, I begged you to start drinking.
Yeah.
And I say,
wasn't
no.
doing it on my own.
And I always say, no, you don't have to.
It's okay. So we go to Trader Vic's, which is in the hotel. It's
connected to. It's
an old hotel, so there's no straight route to get to Trader Vic's. You have to wind through hallways and.
Because they never do things like that in new buildings.
No, well, it just
sure been around a lot, haven't you?
It was a circuitous route to get there.
Sure.
And we sit down, and Ben, the bartender, brings over the menu. And this is the menu of the drinks, not the menu of the food.
Trader Vic's famous for its big frou-frou.
Fruity drinks. Drinks served in coconuts with parasols and giant chunks of, watermelon and pineapple.
You can buy Trader Vic's syrups and things for drinks.
And I said, well, I'd like a margarita because that's whenever I do actually have a mixed drink, that's the one I have. And I said, do you think I can get one?
She doesn't have a real margarita. She has a snow cone, essentially.
Yeah, because a real margarita is not blended.
No.
So I said, well, I'd like that. And Carrie said, well, I'm sure he can make you that. And I said, no, I'm here. I'm going to order something off the
You
menu.
go, girl.
Empowerment. So she ordered, what was it? I don't remember what it was called. Some kind of rum punch thing.
Yeah.
Come on. You don't know what
I don't remember what it was called.
Okay.
It was it was in a tall glass. It was red. It looked like Hawaiian punch.
Had umbrellas and
had a
fruit
chunk of
and-
pineapple and all that stuff.
Okay.
And I had one.
Yeah.
And this is before the food. And then Carrie ordered another, and he made me get another. And that was it.
That was it. She was gone.
Where did she go?
Empty stomach, drink and a half. She was in outer space.
I was giggling, and I kept leaning on you, I think.
You did.
Did I touch you a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then you told me after the fact that I was saying
I want you to
things.
tell me what you remember. Then I will fill in the holes. What do you remember after that?
I remember I ordered a steak.
Uh-huh.
And
you like the steak.
The
you
steak was
ate it
good.
all.
Yeah. And, lettuce wraps. I had some lettuce wraps.
She was proud of the fact that she had a lettuce wrap.
Yeah.
And this is all after one drink.
Yeah.
I had a fortune cookie with a misspelling on it.
Oh, did you save that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I have that. That's all I remember, really.
You remember going back to the room?
Did you guys go back to the same room?
Or did you just wake up in your room?
No, I went back there somehow.
You went back to your room and then you watched Dances with Wolves.
Oh, that's what I did.
That's what you do remember.
Because it was on HBO. Although I always have to turn it off when the white man comes, because that's when it gets sad.
I always have to turn it, which implies, of course, that she watches it over and over and over again.
Okay.
So that's what I remember.
That's what you remember. Okay.
What is she leaving out?
A lot.
What?
Giggling uncontrollably.
About?
Being drunk.
This is.
I'm a naughty girl.
This is a drink and a half.
And I kept calling her.
I'm not exaggerating.
All I had to do to elicit, not kidding, 3 minutes worth of uncontrolled giggling was call her Drinky McWeather. That was all I had to do.
Well, see, it's working now and she's sober, so I think she's sober.
I have muscle memory from
Drinky McWeather.
How would it be possible for you to have muscle memory? It would imply muscles.
That's right. All through the rest of dinner, she just kept laughing when she wasn't eating, and she kept saying, I'm not a cheap date. I'm not a cheap date. I said, no, Gina, of course you're not. You drank on an empty stomach. It's more efficient that way.
But I never do. I'm
not a cheap date. I'm not a cheap date.
I never do that. I surprised myself how drunk I was on so little alcohol.
Now, the other thing she left out was when she was sober. When we were walking to Trader Vic's, that long walk that she talked about, there's a very long hallway to get there.
Yeah.
So now she's plastered, and we're heading back to the room. And she stops at the entrance to this long hallway, kind of teeters a bit, steadies herself with her elbow up against the wall of the hallway.
Good Lord.
And
you remember
says-
this? Yeah.
And says, man, that's a long hallway.
I had to work up the courage to walk down it.
Well, apparently your bar manager, Mr. Ben Chung at Trader Vic's at the Beverly Hilton, Mr. Ben Chung being the bar
That's
manager.
who waited on us.
Was it really?
It
Ben
was
Chung?
Ben.
He's famous.
He's he apparently mixed you a fine drink.
Yes, he did.
Ben Chung. He's famous. He cared. He made my Mai Tai with love.
He
Ben
did.
Chung did.
I saw him add the love.
Because I went there later and had someone else mix me another Mai Tai, and it wasn't as good.
Wasn't Ben.
Ben's the guy.
Well, you should have taken it up with the general manager, Mr. Chai Rohana.
Also a good man.
Yeah.
I saw him. I saw the name Chai on his name
There
tag,
you
and
go.
I chuckled because I was like, I love to drink chai.
Yeah.
I wonder if he uses that.
He's the
Anyway,
general manager.
so I get her to her elevator because she was in a different wing of the hotel than we were. Get her to her
I
elevator.
don't remember this part at all.
She took my hand as if she was going to kiss it.
Mm-hmm.
You're making this.
I'm not making this up. And said, thank you so much, Carrie Jackson. Thank you.
Good Lord.
I'm not making that part up.
And given that, you put her on an elevator by herself?
I thought she'd be okay.
I'll bet she slept in the hall outside of her room for a good 2 hours.
I made it back and watched Dances with Wolves.
So
yeah,
the
for a while.
So the second night, I got her drunk out at the El Torito Grill, and she got in the car, and after she made me take her to Cheesecake Factory to get a slice of cheesecake to go.
Well, we
Right.
were on our way.
We were there.
She says, I'm going to get this, I'm going to eat it on the way home, she said. Well, she laid down in the back of the car and fell asleep.
I didn't eat it.
And then didn't eat the cheesecake because it had been out too long.
Yeah.
Third
And
night.
you said I snored.
Yeah, you did. It was so. She has a cute little snore. It's funny. And then the third was I got her drunk on good margaritas at Tortilla Joe's in downtown Disney, and made her walk around Disneyland drunk.
3 nights in a row.
You're still hungover, aren't you?
Not only do I never do that, I certainly have never done it 3 nights in a row.
Wouldn't you like to do it again now that you've done it?
I can be Drinky McWeather all the time.
You know,
on,
you
Drinky.
can do that at home every night if you want.
No, that's just sad is what that is.
Why? I do it.
You call it sad, I call it fun.
Yeah, but you're not alone.
I call it relaxing.
Yeah.
You're not alone. It's sad when you drink alone.
You have a son?
Yeah.
Honey, go get mommy a drink.
Go get mommy a Mai Tai out of the fridge. One of the cans of Trader Vic's.
I'm going to teach you how to make the perfect margarita. The neon trees.
Yep.
Because our neighbor.
It's our good friend Tyler Glenn.
Yes, our neighbor Tyler
Just lives right over there in the American Towers.
Well, not for the next couple of months. He's
Yes.
not. He's he announced yesterday. He's like, I'm in 2 days. I'm moving to New York.
What? What's he
I'm
doing
not,
there?
Not permanently.
What is he going just for a little vacation? Or?
No, he's been cast in Kinky Boots.
He's going
on
to play
Broadway.
He's going to play Kinky Boots.
Yes,
Mr. Kinky Boots.
Mr. Kinky Boots. So
That's pretty cool.
Congratulations, Tyler.
It'd be interesting. I think they do new reviews when a new person steps in.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Good luck, Tyler.
We wish him well.
Yeah. So, all right, now let's shift gears and talk to our friends here, or part of the news.
If we do here,
let's do part of the news.
They just have a few minutes, is all.
Well, we'll talk to them coming up as part of the news. Our lovely friends from the Wasatch Forensic Nurses are here.
Yes.
And you can see how lovely they are if you go to x96.com/live, because they'll be on camera.
The fry sauce chat is what exploded in.
Oh, geez.
In texts and chat.
Did you guys hear all of that when we were talking about fry sauce? So Heinz, the Heinz company is coming out. They have made this stuff. It's been available in the Middle East apparently. Mayo chup. So it's a combination of mayonnaise and ketchup, and people are all upset about it. Now it's a dumb name.
That's the thing I object to is the name.
That's the thing
I
people
don't
are
care.
upset about, is that it's not being called fry sauce.
Well,
That is what they're upset
But if
about.
you call it fry sauce, then people are less hesitant to they use it elsewhere. They want you to use it on everything. It should go on a sandwich. It should go on your pizza. It should go here. It should go. But if you just call it fry sauce, then people go.
Well, it's for fries.
Nobody's going to say, we're out of mayo chup. Can you go to the store and get us some? Nobody will say
I don't
that.
know. It's pretty distinctive, Gina. And they want you to use it for everything. I understand it makes a great hair pomade as well. You just let's put it in there and let it.
No.
But the texting and the chat just exploded because everybody has an opinion on fry sauce except for one guy. This fry sauce talk is boring. And I'm like, look around you, dude. Do you see everybody commenting?
My favorite fry sauce, and I mean not favorite to eat, but it's the bottle, and I think it's still that way. I remember we talked about it. It's made here in Utah. It's that Some Guy's fry sauce.
That's what it's called.
And on the picture of the bottle, it looks. There's a guy. It's a really crude cartoon drawing a guy, and there's his family sitting around, and there are big blotches of red all around. And if at first glance it looks like it's some guy has butchered his family, it's going and there's blood everywhere. And then you look closer, of course, it's ketchup on everything, but
fry sauce on everything.
Yeah, Some Guy's fry sauce.
Yeah, some guy,
and it's pretty good.
It's fine.
Yeah. And I saw a new fry sauce actually at the grocery store the other day.
It's Some Dudes, not Some Guy.
Oh, Some Dudes,
okay.
yeah. And it was this fry sauce I saw was a major brand too.
Was it Stevens?
I
Stevens
don't know.
Gourmet fry sauce.
I haven't tried that.
Somebody mentioned that in the chat.
No, but it was a national brand. Like Heinz, and I just saw it yesterday, and I can't. And it said fry sauce. Something, like Best Foods fry sauce.
Well, I need to have some today after all this talk.
Some fries.
All
Now,
right.
so where will you go for it?
I don't know. Because I do like Hires, but then...
You know where you could go to? You could go to Lizzie's Kitchen.
Ooh, I could.
Yeah.
They have really
great fries.
Great French fries, and they have a fry sauce.
But I go to Lizzie's and I get the cauliflower.
Well, this time get this fries.
And then I fill up on cauliflower and I don't have room for fries.
Just have
It's a
fries.
problem.
You can just have fries. Again, Gina, your problems are always so easily solvable, but they seem to baffle you. I have to eat the cauliflower, and then I can't have the fries. No, you just eat the fries.
But they have the cauliflower.
Oh, God.
All right. Let's see. We got Boner Fight coming up. Stand by.
On this week's Let's Go Eat show, we talk to Saida Dahir. She's an activist. She's a slam poet. She's only 17. She and her generation are going to change the world. Find it at theletsgoeatshow.com.
So when you go to like a group class at the gym or whatever, and at the end sometimes the instructor would be like, does anyone want to do any additional abs? And there's that one person in the back who's just waving their arms around like, more sit-ups, more planks. That was me, because all I wanted was to go bikini shopping and not dread it. I just wanted that flat stomach. It was hard for me though. I was like working out all the time and I just couldn't get it. It wasn't until I went to Ideal Image and I asked him about CoolSculpting that I got the results I've been wanting for so long. I really appreciated that it's a personalized treatment. I sat down with him, we talked, and I have these real natural looking results. Finally, CoolSculpting is the only safe and effective FDA cleared fat freezing technology that kills fat cells for good. Get 15% off CoolSculpting now at Ideal.
hell on X96.
All right.
The Bulls, I like that.
The Bulls.
The Bulls, yeah.
9:19. We do have Boner Fight coming up, but first,
hopefully a little bit of news too. But
Yes.
we've got we want to talk to the Wasatch forensic nurses. Now, I did a podcast with these lovely women some time ago, still available at the letsgoeatshow.com. You can go listen all about it. We'll tell you what it is. Deborah Coons is the executive director. Jennifer Andrelsic, did I get that right? Yeah, you did. Andrelsic. She's a nurse, a forensic nurse, and Mikkel Eldridge she just sings the praises of Wasatch forensic nurses. They're having a fundraiser and silent auction this Saturday. We'll tell you about that. But first, Deborah, talk about what the forensic nurses do. What do you guys do?
Sure. So we're an organization of about a nonprofit of about 30 nurses. We perform all of the forensic exams for the rape and sexual assault victims all along the Wasatch Front in both Salt Lake and Utah counties. We work with about 19 different hospitals who do not have specialty trained sexual assault nurse examiners on staff, and so they contract and have agreements with us that we go directly to the hospital 24/7. It is no charge to the patient, and we'll perform the exam, collect all of the everything for the rape kit.
The rape kit, yeah.
Yep, and hand it off to the
Let me ask Jennifer, stop up to the microphone, Jennifer, what kind of special training does a nurse need to do this sort of thing?
So I'm a registered nurse, and I've had specialized training to be a forensic nurse. I've done online modules, and we also had a
I don't know what you mean when you say an online module.
Yeah.
What
Well,
do you do? What kind of training is what I'm asking?
It's a variety of different subjects that we do learn about.
Like
I can't even think right now. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You probably have
you
to
nervous?
deal with patients differently because
Yeah,
they've been through a specific trauma. My guess is you have more training in that vein.
Yeah, exactly. More training, like with having to deal with people in their lowest times, and we also
you're asking somebody who's been through this horrible thing, and now you have to do some very invasive and scary, perhaps, things to get the information and samples that you need. You're asking them at their most vulnerable time.
You should be a forensic nurse, Gina.
But am I right? Isn't that part of it? Like,
That's
how
right.
do you talk to these people and let them know this is probably the last thing you want to do right now, but we need to do it?
Well, first of all, I give them options. They don't have to go through the medical forensic exam. I can just be there just to make sure that they're okay and give them medications to prevent against sexually transmitted infections and pregnancy. The other part, the bonus part, is just collecting the evidence and turning that over to law enforcement. And
Deborah, this is really great work that the forensic nurses do, and you are available, as you said, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all along the Wasatch Front. How many, I hate to ask, but do you know, how many times a week or a month, or what kind of statistics are we talking about here?
Yeah, actually, we're running at about a 65% increase over last year. We've already seen 220 patients year to date. Wow.
Sexual assault victims.
Yes. And what we believe is that more people are coming forward with the Me Too movement, with the positive media attention. If the patient themselves, the victims themselves, isn't willing to go in, probably one of their friends or their family, a parent, somebody is going to get them in there for that exam.
We talked about that this week, as a matter of fact. Is there more, we were just postulating and conjecturing, is there more sexual assault? It seems like there is, or are just more people coming forward? And we kind of thought it's more people coming forward. The rate remains kind of constant, I hope.
That's what we're believing as well. We're making it more available to them by them going to the hospital nearest them instead of having to be sent to a different clinic.
Now, quickly, the fundraiser and silent auction. Mikkel, you want to talk about that? It's this Saturday from 5:30 to 9. It's to raise money for a good cause.
Yes, it's at the Marriott University Park, and we will have a wonderful speaker named Marty Liccardo, and an incredible, just a woman that we met just about a month ago who has experienced sexual assault, just I think about a year ago. And during her recovery process, she packed up her car and went around the western states and backpacked around all of the national parks. And she wrote a song called Human, and she's going to be performing it live for us.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Tiana St. Clair.
And you've got a silent auction
We have
as
a
well?
silent auction. Yep, a silent auction. Lots of great items to auction. And it's open now. And Richie is going to be emceeing the night. Thank you, Richie. We're
And you
looking forward to it.
got food and all of that,
Food
right?
and beverages,
So-
leaded and unleaded.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So how do people get tickets if they want to come to the fundraiser and help the cause of the Wasatch Forensic Nurses? They
Yeah.
go around and really help victims of sexual assault. How do people get tickets?
The best way is to go to WasatchFN, as in forensicnurses.com, wasatchfn.org, .org, wasatchfn.org. And you can find information about us, about our event, our auction. There's a link for our auction. And if you can't make the event, you can still participate in the auction, which is pretty cool
You
because it's
can
a
auction
live
online.
auction.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so it's open now and people are bidding. We have live jazz tickets on the floor, courtside seats, signed Royals shirts, signed a Real ball, all kinds of fun stuff.
Really not great work you guys do. I hope you raise a lot of money here at this this fundraiser and silent auction.
Thank you.
It's this Saturday. For tickets, again, go to www.wasatchf, as in Frank, N as in Nancy.org.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks.
Thank
luck, you guys.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
Very much.
It's Bonafide. With Radio from Hell on X96.
Yes?
And it's sponsored.
Okay.
Wednesday, the 18th, is Free Real Estate Seminar Day. Learn how to start, presented by Aaron Haga from Stonebrook Real Estate. Attendees receive free refreshments, one-on-one consultation to design your own investment plan. To sign up, call 801-278-1111 or email info@stonebrook.com.
All right, boner candidate number one, the winner of round one was, you can't arrest someone who's in the river. It's a guy down in St. George. He stole a golf cart, joyriding. And the police got after him, and he ended up in the Virgin River, not with the golf cart, wading in the Virgin River. And the cops said, come on, get out of there, come on. And he said, no. Finally, they got him out of the river. They said, why didn't you just respond to our, get it? And then he said, well, I had a buddy who told me that you can't get arrested if you're in the river. Okay, that's number one. Number two, from round two. So 10 lawmakers voted for bestiality, apparently. Louisiana law to ban sex with animals won in the Senate. It won. It passed. 25 votes to 10 votes voting no. So apparently 10 lawmakers in Louisiana in favor of bestiality. That's boner candidate number two.
All right, you've got to decide which one of these is the most deserving of the title Boner of the Day for April 12. All right, one or two. Put the candidate that you think should win, the number of the candidate that you think should win, in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. You can call, use your voice, 877-602-9696. They're taking votes in the producer's booth. Or go to x96.com, look for the box that says Boner Fight April 12. And vote there. If you don't see that box, refresh. It should appear. Less than 300 seconds to do it. Let's go. This is Boner of the Day.
Here's what Carrie and Bill are doing when they're not on the air in the distant future. The year 2525.
Oh, hello, boys.
Oh, hello there, Chunga. It's about time you showed up.
Sorry. Still got about an hour before airtime, though, boys. Thought maybe I'd change the brine in your pickle vats before we start the show.
Yeah, good idea. Mine's kind of reesty and cloudy. I mean, I can barely see you through the glass. Yeah, and my liquid isn't conducting the electrical impulses I need to blink my eyes.
You guys are amazing. I don't know of any other guys in radio who could have lost their bodies to disease, had their heads preserved in vats through the miracle of cryogenic science, and still go on with the show. I bow in the presence of greatness.
Yeah, and if I still had an ass, you'd be kissing it right now, buddy. Hey, come on, leave the kid alone. All right. He won't change the brine before we have to go on the air if you keep insulting him. Hey, any word on when our audio animatronic bodies are going to be ready, Chunga?
Well, I called Disney and they apologized for the mix-up with the last bodies they sent you boys. But Bill, I thought you looked pretty cool with your head on Little Mermaid body.
I wasn't any better off with that body than I am as just a disembodied head in a pickle vat. Who could walk on that tail? Yeah, the Country Bear Jamboree body they sent me was ridiculous. I think Bill and I are going to be much happier when they send the Chip and Dale bodies. God, ain't technology wonderful? You said it, brother. Only here in the year 2525 could two disembodied heads kept alive in pickle vats do a radio show. And still come out to be about number 15 in the ratings.
Do you guys mind if I wait to change your fluid? I gotta go to the head.
The head. Real funny. What a comedian.
What?
Oh, nothing. Hey, watch out. You're jostling my back. Out!
Help, pick me up. I'm going to die.
Hey, now maybe I can get a full-time gig on the Radio from Hell show. I knew someday I'd get ahead.
Get ahead. Now that's funny, Chunga.
Funny.
You in part by this Indian dish. Its name I don't remember, and I keep meaning to look up before I have to say it, and I don't. And mango chutney and naan.
And Kiefer Sutherland. You should have had him over for dinner, Bill.
I think he likes Indian food.
He's in concert with special guest Rick Brantley Wednesday, April 18th at Park City Live. You can purchase tickets at parkcitylive.net.
That's right. Rick hates Indian food.
Oh,
so that's
well.
So Boner candidate number one, which was you can't arrest someone who's in the river. The guy in St. George arrested for theft of a golf cart, said he was joyriding, and then he got into the Virgin River and was walking down the river. He said, police, my buddy told me you can't arrest somebody who's in the river. And Boner candidate number two. So 10 lawmakers voted for bestiality. A Louisiana law to ban sex with animals wins the Senate. 25-10 vote. The head of the Senate said, I'm just curious if those 10 senators would like to speak up and tell us why they voted against this bill to make it clear that you can't have sex with animals. Why did you guys vote? But I don't know. Let's see. The winner of the Kiefer Sutherland tickets was Clint. And the winner, now I sure thought that you can't walk in the river.
I thought it would do well.
I love that candidate.
Yeah, I did too, but number 2, 10 lawmakers voted for bestiality, 1 boner of the day.
And that is now the winner of Boner of the Day for April 12th, and it is qualified now to be Boner of the Week. We'll do that tomorrow, about this time.
Okay.
All right. What are you doing, Dylan?
What, Dylan Allred?
I need some professional advice.
Okay.
Why'd you come here then?
Yeah. I need some advice from people who have done this longer. It's kind of a serious email I got today from a friend of the program who's a friend of Radio from Hell and likes the Let's Go Eat show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a podcast Bill and I do where we interview folks. And she has a friend, and I'm kind of purposely being vague because I told her I would be.
Okay.
Who's very sick. Who's going to be passing away.
Mm.
Oh.
It's a sad story, and this person has kids.
Ooh.
And
the person who's very sick is,
Yeah. And she wanted to know if I would come and interview her friend who's passing away, so that there would be a life story, a record.
Oh, yeah. That's a great idea.
I think it's a good idea.
I'm just so intimidated. I don't know what to say back to this person.
Well, either you will or you won't.
Well, I feel like it's the right thing to do.
Well, we don't have, it's not something that we need to put out there for the public. It's just for them.
Sure, but I don't know. I'm just nervous about doing it. It's like a lot of pressure.
I think it is.
And I don't know what to ask.
I think I'll do it if you want.
Maybe. Okay.
I mean, I'd do it. It seems
It'd
to me like a great idea
for the
kids.
yeah.
I would be proud to be a part of that.
Because that's the kind of thing where you ask a couple leading questions and just let her talk. I mean, it's not the kind of thing that there should be hardly any of you in that at all.
Yeah, here's how you begin. You say, you ask, so now what's your name? And how old are you? I think you can ask, and what is your illness? What's going on here? And then you say, what is your earliest memory? What's the earliest memory you have?
Mm-hmm.
Start there. And that will lead a person, if they're talkative at all, to just kind of ruminate and maybe think of a bunch of different things. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's this, or maybe it's that.
Mm-hmm.
And but I remember when my dad did this, or my mom did this, and I remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your dad. Well, what was he like? What was your dad like? And
Sweet Pea Jess in the chat room says, do it. We did this for my grandfather when he was sick. No pressure, just get her stories. Everybody has stories. Yep. Just let her talk about her life. You're just the facilitator.
And I would say this, just to expand it a little bit. I would encourage this friend to get together with other friends and record their stories about the mom, because there are stories that the mom won't think of, and they'll like, oh, there's this funny time we were.
Well, and the mom and it's, I haven't said whether it's a mother or father. It
doesn't
matter.
Sorry.
But people telling stories about you is different than you telling stories about yourself. Like, as these kids grow up, probably they'll lose contact with their parents' friends.
Right. Sure.
And so when they get older and want to remember their parents, they will have.
Because your friends remember things that you don't remember.
Right.
Your
or
friends will be
you're
like, oh, geez, I forgot.
and
I never tell them that, but it's still a good story.
And I've been thinking a lot about people. My family has been asking me to do this for my grandma as well.
You should.
And I absolutely mean to do it. And I don't know. It's an intimidating thing. But I just need to do it.
My cousin,
certainly for my grandma.
My cousin interviewed my dad and all of his brothers and sisters, and did the same thing, but just in a book form.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that she did
actually
that.
wrote down
Yeah,
there.
wrote it all down.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to use some of Dad's own words at his funeral,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Very cool.
One thing, of course, you have to ask. I don't know how many children there are, but you certainly have
I
to
believe
ask.
one.
Just one child? Sure. Oh, because I was going to say you should ask who's your favorite child. Just,
Just as a joke?
Yeah, just kind of put a little. There's nothing wrong, though, with doing a little.
Having levity.
Don't worry about. I mean, if you can figure out a way to have a little levity involved with it. I'm not saying make a big joke or anything like that, but something that's light, and maybe there's a recollection that this person has that's a kind of a funny story, and you can kind of bring that out and joke around with them a little bit if you want, And I don't know, it depends on how ill this person is, if bedridden or I don't know, but
yeah,
and this is a good thing.
I think
to
it'd
do.
be a great thing to do.
Okay, and I'm certainly I'm certainly willing to bring. I have the equipment, and I bring it, and you can certainly use it to do this. I guess my thing is just, am I really the right person to lead the interview?
I don't know.
I'll certainly engineer it and get any equipment you need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you want me to do it, because I've done 1.5 million interviews, if you want me to do it and you engineer it, I'll do it.
Okay.
Tell them that.
Okay, I'll tell them that.
Now someone has texted in, said, in the new family history centers,
Mormon
I guess
thing.
that would be it. They have rooms set up where you can do that interview thing, and you can get together with the whole family and have food in there and record sound and video.
Cool.
Well, I wonder, do you have to have a recommend for that?
Probably got to be a
Probably
member,
not.
I would think. I don't know.
Probably, I'm sure you do.
And maybe, I don't know how ill this person is, but maybe traveling is not an option.
It could be.
Right. I feel like I'd go to their house
Yeah.
and bring.
Well, this is a good thing. You
Oh,
should
yeah, it'd be
do
great.
it.
Do that.
Okay.
Let us know how it goes.
Okay, I will.
All right, we have to take a break. We will be back. First, got to tell you about the Advocates. Go to utawadvocates.com.
What will you find there?
You will find several things there. You'll find information about the Advocates,
Yep.
what they do. There's also a chat feature. There's 2 ways to contact them. 24 hours a day, you can talk to an attorney for free.
Oh, I can't afford an attorney.
Well, it's
They're
for free.
expensive.
No, he
I
just said
can't-
for free,
Yeah.
Gina.
Now, there's a chat feature there, so if you're really shy, you can just type.
Now, this is personal.
Yeah.
Personal injury.
Yeah.
If you've been hurt in an accident, don't call them up about real estate deals. That's not what they do. It's if you've been hurt in an accident, you've got insurance problems. These are the people to help you.
And when I say free, of course they get paid to do what they do, but there's no upfront money that you have to come up with. They take their fee out of your settlement. It's nothing you have to come up with or figure out. They take care of that.
So if you've been hurt in an accident, the first thing you should do, of course, is call the authorities and get medical attention. But then call the Advocates, 801-355-5550 or utawadvocates.com.
It's the Downrange Podcast.
Yeah, hi, I'm John Smith.
on X96.
All right, 9:49.
I didn't have a chance to get to this story in the news.
Oh, we didn't do any news.
Yeah, this is really interesting, I think.
What's that?
A Google computer scientist, whose name I can't pronounce, Supasorn Suajanakorn, has created a lip-reading technology that can make convincing fake videos of celebrities saying anything he wants. The computer program learns how to imitate the way a person talks by watching videos of them speaking. So you just get the program to watch the videos. It created a fake and convincing video of President Obama, or former President Obama, giving a speech after it was fed just 14 hours of presidential addresses. Mr. Suajanakorn said the technology has terrible consequences if it gets into the wrong hands.
And it will. It will.
All the program needs is a few photos and videos to learn from. Suajanakorn demonstrated it on stage in Vancouver at a TED Talk, at a TED conference, and showed an example of how he could do it.
You think we have fake news now?
That's what he said. He said this, he said fake news, this we would really...
It's dangerous.
Why did he do this? Why did he invent it? Why did he... I'm going to see if I can do this.
Because if he did it, he's not the
Somebody
only
else
person
will.
in the world that can do it.
Yeah, somebody else will do it.
No, this is bad.
Yeah.
This is dangerous.
Yes, I don't... I'm again it. I ain't for it, that's for sure.
Because then you are only going to believe things that you hear from alive, in person, in flesh and blood, right in front of you.
Well, maybe you should do that anyway. And then you should take it with a grain of salt because most people are liars.
I don't trust anybody.
I don't trust them. I don't trust anybody. I really don't trust any. There's almost no one that I trust completely.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I trust my wife completely.
Oh, I thought we were talking about news still.
I mean, in general.
In general?
Yeah.
That you don't trust?
Yes.
That you think are lying to you?
No, that's not what I said. I said would lie to me. Would lie to me if they needed to.
You don't think your wife would lie to you if she needed to?
I don't think so.
I bet she has.
Well,
because
but see, I trust her, so I don't think she has. I don't think my wife has lied to me. So that's what trust is to me, at any rate. I believe, and I would say that I trust you two pretty much. I really do. I mean, just to be very honest and just bare bones about it.
Well,
I would trust the two of you, I believe.
The people in this room, I think for each of us, are some of the longest relationships.
Oh.
No, I'm serious.
No, I've had a longer relationship.
Than marriages, than
longer
kids,
with Carrie.
No, you're right. You're right.
Like, other than your parents and your siblings, you two are my longest run. You've seen me in and out of all kinds of things, and
it's been such a long time that I think I know Carrie really well, but he's very complicated. I mean, he is.
You're way more simple than he is.
He's a complicated man, and no one understands him but his woman.
Is that the Kinks?
Shaft.
Oh. I mean, Carrie's pretty complicated, and it's taken me a number of years, but I think I know him pretty well.
Yeah.
And I trust him. And you, Gina, I trust, of course, absolutely. And for all the joking that goes on here, all of that is joking. It's like I love you deeply, and you're really simple to figure out.
No, I'm not. I'm way more complicated.
I don't think you are.
Really?
I'm so deep.
Are you?
I don't see anybody who says that.
Give us something.
No, really, dude, I'm deep.
So deep.
I am deep.
Give us something. Give us something that we don't know about you.
Something you don't know about me?
Show me how deep you are.
I think that.
No, I'm pretty.
You're pretty. But that's not to say that you're not. You don't have a rich and a rich personality. You do have a rich personality, and But you're. You like the things in life you like, and
No, we've done enough not safe for work episodes that I think I've told both of you. I don't know if we can do any more because I think I've told all the stories.
All your salacious stories.
Yeah. See, I haven't.
I'll tell you something about me that you didn't know.
What?
Back when I had a paper route, this is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Okay.
Back when I had a paper route, I would occasionally deliver via horseback.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how fun.
Our horse Pepper.
Oh.
Did you take a piece of hay and put it in your teeth and?
No, just went and did it instead of my bike.
That sounds fun.
It wasn't.
So you
it was still a paper route.
So you know how to saddle a horse?
Yeah.
Was that the Herald?
Like could you,
yes,
the Provo Herald.
Daily Herald. Yeah.
Could you do it today? Could you saddle a horse?
I probably could.
I mean, it's not that hard.
It's not.
I don't care for horses.
It's just getting it up on the back of the horse is
Yeah.
the hard part, really, and then.
What do you mean you don't care for horses?
I don't.
I don't
What's
either.
wrong with horses?
They are often unpredictable and have a. I think they're stupid, but they want to do the things their own way. And if you don't know how to handle them,
well, that's just it.
They're going to do things their own way,
Sure.
and they're jerks about it. Horses are jerks.
They can be.
So you don't know how to be the boss of a horse.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right. I've tried on a few occasions, and they're just jerks.
They know you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
and they
I
know
know
they're
that.
bigger than you.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And so they're going to, okay, I'm a jerk. I'm going to try and nudge this guy off of me the entire afternoon. Man, did I hate that. I went out, it was with some people with the the Division of Wildlife Services here in Utah, the Utah Division. And every spring they would go out in the mountains up above Ogden on horseback to look for deer kill. Just to see, give them an idea of the deer population, and they would so they ride their horses through all these trees and brush and all of this stuff and pretty rugged terrain. And they said, "You want to go with us? It's kind of fun and interesting." I said, "Sure, I've been on a horse before. I'll go with you." They gave me this horse that was the biggest a-hole. I couldn't stand it the whole afternoon. I kept it in. I didn't get thrown off, and I kept on him the whole time.
It's work, though.
But it was awful. Yeah. It was no fun. And at the end of it, one of the guys said, they gave you that horse on purpose.
Watch, guess I'm going to give him shades.
This is going to be really
You're
funny.
going to give him shades.
Give him shades.
So not only was the horse a jerk, so was that guy from the wild. Man, I hated that.
Right. Oh, let's do a promo and get out of here.
I don't think I can.
Oh yeah, that's if your pop-up isn't working. Yeah,
it's
send them a message and they'll reply it.
You just guys do it. I don't need to be in it.
Well,
I did send them a message.
Okay.
All right.
Leave me out.
Okay. You start and we'll go every other. Okay.
On Friday's Radio from Hell show.
At 7 a.m., it's the meh question of the week. Send yours to radiofromhell@x96.com.
At 7:45, hello, yeah, what? Talk to us about whatever you like. But if your call sucks, our software hangs up on you.
Plus, we'll have Stone Temple Pilots tickets at around 8 a.m. It's around 8 because we never remember to do it when we're supposed to.
That's all on Friday's Radio from Hell show on X96. Wow, we don't need Bill for those.
No, it was terrible. I make those promos. I'm the frosting on that promo cupcake.
Good enough?
Well,
this is napping weather. Let's go take a nap.
Gina, any weather is napping weather for you.
Well, that's true.
Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Beaver's not famous for cheese.
John Smith is next.
A 1-hour nonstop music wingding starts now. Utah's original alternative, X96.